Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Oh, damn. How we doing this morning? How we doing this morning? Yes, sir. What the hell's going on? Why can't I? That was weird. Okay. How we doing? How we doing? It doesn't look like we got very many games this morning. It doesn't really seem like there's much of anything today. I don't know what happened. What is this? Reverse collapse. Oh, this looks crazy. What is... Whoa, what is this? Morning, Kush.
Wake up.
Oh, damn. This looks crazy. What is this? There's no captions. I don't want to deal with the copyright music. So this looks a little bit like Death Stranding. Watch this be like a mass MMORPG. What the fuck? That sure is something. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the hell is this game? Whoa, hold on, wait a minute. This looks kind of sick, bro. Wait, what? A little too much of the you-know-what playing this for my taste. I gotta be careful. How is this 4 minutes? This does look really sick, though. Whoa, what the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? Bro, this is the craziest fucking trailer I've ever seen for a game. This is a game, right? I'm not being trolled. Yeah, it's a game. This kind of looks like, oh, what's it called? Oh, it looks kind of like Helldivers. That's what it looks like. Oh, morning, everybody. Morning, Infidel. That's what it looks like. It looks like Helldivers. I don't think Star Wars. There's too many anime girls. It looks kind of like a Helldivers knockoff. The gameplay, anyway. The hell is this? No copyright. Oh, what the fuck? Whoa, what the fuck? I'd rather not push my luck with this one. What is this? This looks fun. Oh, it's Steam Trains, guys. Oh boy, your inner nerd can call to you. Well, I wonder if Sony has anything worth a shit. Morning, Melissa. A little bit of a late blooming morning today. Slow morning. Token. Has anyone played Token? Is it any good? I keep hearing about it. Adorable Adventures. Wow. The hell is this? This looks kind of cool.
Ellie. My dear Ellie.
What the hell?
I have to find her.
Oh, this game is pretty.
Do anything. Anything to see her face again.
Oh, what the fuck? That is insane. This game looks really good. The Shore. Huh. Oh, morning, darling. How you doing? Beastie Boy in the chat. Oh, you going home today? Yo, W Beastie Boy. W Beastie Boy. It means you'll be able to tune into some more streams, right? Damn, is that all we get? I'm not really seeing any other games that are sticking out, guys. This, however, is... I'll watch this again. I don't care.
We fly no colors out here, but praise the lack of them. So let the black flag signal nothing.
I'm gonna play the shit out of this game, bro.
Freedoms.
If a man plays the fool, then it's only fools he'll persuade, but appear to be the devil. And all men will submit.
We're pirates, kid. We take as we please and become who we like.
But that look ain't you. It's not who you are.
Who am I then?
You're a wonder, Kenway. You've a knack for this kind of work.
It ain't work if you love it.
That's right. It ain't work if you love it, boys. Damn, that comes out. Is that this? That's soon, isn't it? That's next month. That's literally around the corner. That's next month. What? Damn. Yeah, go ahead, dude. Catch some sun this afternoon. Nice. I don't know what it is, but whenever I've got like a cold, going out into the sun, man, that does wonders. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. No, go back.
So
watch this.
apparently Alex Jones is signing off from the InfoWars studio.
Just for context, Alex Jones right now has to pay almost $1 billion in damages after his Sandy Hook defamation case, and so he had to sell all of his InfoWars brand, which apparently has now been acquired by The Onion for millions.
Look at this.
I never bluff, folks. If you knew what we had, the whistleblowers, the documents, we have royal flushes. They are screwed to the moon. We are committed, and if God stands with us, who can stand against us? And that's how I close out. What a crew. The hell we've been through has only made us stronger. Let me ask you, would you have any other way? No! Are you not stronger now in this fight? Yeah! I salute this crew and all the viewers and listeners to this fight. God bless you all. That's it. The next...
Fucking Alex Jones, man. I can't believe he's done. That's it? Man, the myth, the legend is I guess that's it.
face starts, the real war begins now.
Oh boy, the real war begins now.
What does that mean?
Anyway, apparently the Onion bought InfoWars, and this is how they introduce the new InfoWars that they have taken over.
I think the Onion is hilarious, dude. If it's the company that I'm thinking of, dude, they're hilarious.
But I'm going to sip from the blood of the Forsaken. This is real human blood. You can find this at the InfoWars store. This is human blood curated from the Forsaken and the sinners. All right, this is pure premium blood.
Is he trying to like do an Alex Jones impression? So this is the Onion, right? This is them making fun of Alex. So they bought the company InfoWars, and now they're just making fun of him.
Tested, FDA unapproved.
This is cringy.
This is just human blood. As part of my satanic ritual, I am a servant to Satan, and thank God I was able to get him and the Lord to sit down.
This really isn't very good. This is really bad.
And come to their senses and get things back to before.
Bro, this is shit. This actually upsets me. Look, I'm not a big fan of Alex Jones, but you got to give the man some credit. He knew about Pizzagate before Pizzagate was even a thing. Like, come on, like
Satan was cast into hell. So I'm part of that. I'm part of the peace movement. That's thick. It tastes like blood. And this is Satan giving me the powers to continue to fight. And we will continue to fight.
This is a skit, by the way, YouTube, so fuck off.
To you, if you have access to the blood of the Forsaken and of all the children, this is not blood. These are adult. This is adult blood, by the way. Ain't no question. I made sure of that because I don't want to get in trouble. But this is the blood of the Forsaken. It's hot.
Wow. That's really embarrassing. Painfully unfunny, zero imagination.
Well, it's because they don't know Alex Jones. That's why. This was obviously not meant to be funny. This was meant to be a jab at Alex Jones. I mean, let's be honest here.
Cringe as fuck right out the gate. Norm Macdonald said that in order to do a good impression of someone, you have to at least like them a bit.
You can't play someone and have contempt for them at the same time. You know, it doesn't work as an impression.
The whole project was doomed from the start because Tim is too spiteful and doesn't really get Alex Jones. No, he doesn't. This is embarrassing. It's so pathetic and embarrassing. What would your mom think? She'd just think he's an idiot. She'd be like, okay, well, where's Alex? Was he going to be online somewhere else? Like, I don't know.
You know Alex Jones is going to be online somewhere. He's probably going to make like a podcast or something. Knowing Alex Jones, you're not going to be able to keep him off the air. He'll do the same thing that what the hell's his name? Tucker Carlson. He'll do what Tucker Carlson did.
There's no video of President Trump sucking a ding dong. And so
You really think you're going to be able to keep this man off the internet? Come on.
Sucking a ding dong. And so what if there was? That's a lot better than World War III, Owen. I never sucked any ding dongs. But I'll tell you, if they were going to blackmail me to start World War III about one, I'd say, hey, I sucked a golf ball through a freaking garden hose.
Yo, the guy looking at him
About
too.
one, I'd say, hey, I
He's
sucked
like, oh, yeah,
golf ball through a freaking garden hose.
Oh my God, bro, what? Oh my God.
She just think he's an idiot. She'd be like, okay, was he going to be online?
Oh, that
There's
was
no video
gold.
of President Trump sucking a ding dong.
He has to know what he's doing, right? There's no way this man just said this on a whim.
And so what if there was? That's a lot better than World War III, Owen. I never sucked any ding dongs. But I'll tell you, if they were going to blackmail me to start World War III about one, I'd say, hey, I sucked a golf ball through a freaking garden hose.
Oh, dude, I can't. Holy fuck, I can't. Oh, man, I can't. Oh, that was gold. That was worth it. I'm not even gonna lie. That was completely worth it. Okay, so y'all all know about the May Day. May 1st was May Day. It seems like the consecutive schizos are out consecutively, regardless of the day. You should know that there has been footage of them being bussed around. So there's a good chance that these May Day protests were astroturfed. There's a massive chance. Because they have been bussed over in Greyhound buses and school buses. So
May Day activists actually think chaining
Decoy, go check out Decoy on YouTube. Hell yeah, Decoy. I don't usually get into politics this early, but we ain't got nothing else to watch. So
together can get you higher wages. And sadly, that wasn't even the most idiotic aspect about it, as the May Day marches featured ants and an inflatable Trump, combined with some...
You know, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I really don't.
Anti-ICE messaging, with teachers refusing to work on a Friday so they can line dance and demand nonsense.
We're out here on International Workers' Day, marching alongside thousands of teachers and public school workers, demanding that North Carolina pay up, fund our schools, pay our teachers what they need to live, and stop the cuts to public education.
I like that idea. Pay them more and make it harder to become a teacher. That's not a bad idea at all. That's what they did for firefighting. Why don't they do that? Instead of cutting the funding, make it harder to become that person. Make it harder to become a teacher. Make it harder to become a police officer. Stop cutting funding.
Nothing says you deserve more money than teachers taking a random weekday off to block the streets while nearly half of their students are not proficient in reading or...
Isn't that just a wonderful thing? 45% of public school students aren't proficient in reading and math. Don't you just love it?
Math. So of course, they're for socialism.
What would you say to those families who've had to make last-minute adjustments to get their kids taken care of on this day?
I understand and I appreciate that it can be somewhat off-putting. However, I do know that if their students are in public education, that I would hope that they understand that we are doing it for their children.
We're not doing our government jobs that the taxpayers fund, so while we're out here dancing, we expect the tax-paying parents, again, to pick up our slack. As these schools aren't about educating the students anymore, they're about...
No, they lost that whenever they started marching students out during class to protest ICE. They lost that. They can't complain about that anymore. Sorry, but that's not how it works.
Validating the teachers' activism and emotions. Now over in New York City, May Day is about getting ICE out, but also eating the rich.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now! What do we want?
And these people aren't in jail for what reason as they preach cannibalism in the streets? Like, hello?
When do we want it? Now!
As this march will somehow stop the nukes. And recording social media slop inside some random store.
Once and for all. That's private property. You know you can't be there, right? You do realize that if that company decides to get you removed from the property, then you're going to be removed from the property? Like...
We're making a statement, so, party's over. Party's over, guys.
What a fucking joke.
Do any of these dweebs actually think they're helping?
No. They're not there for that. They're there to get some internet clout. That's all they're there for. They don't give a fuck about politics. It's completely obvious. They're just there to get some internet clout.
Before in recorded history.
Like, have any of these people thought about what would happen if the left got what they wanted? Like, do any of them understand that what they're advocating for at all?
Has a
Do they even
dictator been
understand?
defeated by some idiot in a mall with a megaphone? As New York City has really just become an adult daycare for
Like, they would kill us all. Like, even the immigrants would be allowed to kill the, like, just average white Americans that advocated for the left doing what they're doing. Like, I don't even think they understand. Like, they're saying they want to eat the rich people. Like, what the fuck? That is straight up schizo behavior. Like, what the fuck?
As they chain themselves to the stock exchange.
What do you think chaining yourself to the stock exchange is gonna do? Bro, stocks are digital. What are you doing? I don't even think I've ever seen a stock exchange building. I didn't even know one of these things existed. Bunch of boomers don't know how to let that office space go.
YPD quickly yanked their chain, both figuratively and literally.
I love to see it. W New York PD. Yoinked. Oh, damn. Boom. You notice how quickly the police rounded this up? Probably a lot of rich, powerful people that want to be able to get from point A to point B in that building. You see that? You see how quickly they rounded these guys up? You're being arrested for disrupting and blocking business. That's why you're being arrested.
They're ruining our country. They're taking over our government. They're hoarding wealth and we cannot afford to live in this country anymore.
Wow. I can actually, I can stand by that, honestly. Wow. I can't believe some of these people have brains attached to their stems. Huh. Wow. All right. Well, I'm kind of surprised, honestly. I'm shocked.
Trump is a he insulted a team. Trump is a fire. Get out of my shot. Donald Trump.
Crazy to see the new journalist to activist ratio, as after USAID lost their funding, the
Bro, you got a tractor? What the hell you gonna do with a tractor?
U.S. Agency for International Development, but after that got dismantled, what used to be
Oh yeah, no, they definitely paid agitators. Absolutely.
riots on behalf of Democrat movements now barely seem to see a fraction of the activists.
Well, how's it going,
the
Timothy?
May Day marches in LA seem to have a decent turnout, as their parade conveniently
How's
walks
it going,
past their
MC
homeless
Love
encampments.
9?
They now demand citizenship.
Okay, we are here to fight for non-migration. We don't need.
You know, you're kind of onto something there. You know that there, for some tractors, there are attachments like wrecking balls and steamroller attachments? You didn't hear that from me, though.
Ice here, and then we have a more protection.
I just feel it's really important for everyone to come together.
Anti-ICE activists, take a look. They've taken over the checkout counters here at this Home Depot. There are signs that say ICE out of the Home Depot. They've essentially stopped business here.
So they chose May Day to bring everybody together to protest low wages and the unaffordability of
Hey, I mean, like, all you need to do in order to do that is know how to weld and have a decent sized tractor.
LA to co-opt the left's movement of mass amnesty for illegals or flat out allow illegals to vote. It's just
No, absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. Nope. These idiots are so fucking stupid. They are so stupid. You want all these illegals to come from a foreign country and vote? Why don't we just bust in, like, the Taliban and see how quickly that changes?
Interesting how every single movement from May Day, saving the environment, to Roe v. Wade, it all can only be solved by handing the Democrats more power to do what they couldn't do the last time they were in power. And even though the LAPD briefly gained ground,
you see, whenever you start blocking up traffic and you didn't get any permits to protest, and you start clogging up intersections, breaking the law by blocking businesses, the entire thing needs to be forcibly dispersed. Like, you've already got the equipment there, just disperse the crowd. You've already got the cops pushing them back, just push them all the way back and force them to separate. Or arrest them all. Like, why even, like, because you know what happens if this crowd gets too big. They start rioting again. Because that's what it always ends up doing.
they were quickly pushed back. But when these activists tried to swarm the federal building, the feds stepped in to make arrests.
Yep. Bro getting carried. Yo, the feds weren't fucking around with that. They were like, nope, time to go into the box. It's your turn to go in the box today. Oh, what? You want to push the police? Okay, you're going in the box. That's it. You're done. Yo, they carrying this bitch ass, bro. They gonna put him in that box. You know that person was like, you can't take me. They went limp. And then the two troops was like, nah, pick him up.
Get back!
And remember, May Day is supposed to be about workers' rights, but LA made it about ending ICE, granting mass amnesty, and something the Democrats have been long suspected of, illegals voting.
Local leaders pushing a proposal that would allow non-citizens to vote in LA city elections.
Introduced a motion to change the charter. That motion calls for amending the charter to allow the city council to expand voting to non-citizens.
You may be seeing the death of individual state laws. If this keeps happening, I guarantee you at some point, they're going to end up making it to where the individual states can't pass their own laws.
For local elections like mayor.
Because you know what really sucks about this? Is that what they're going to do is they're going to take those votes and they're going to use those votes to cast into bigger votes. Like, for example, the president and stuff like that. The whole, like, giving everybody IDs and allowing them to drive around the country, that part's failing miserably. So what they're going to try to do is pass their own voter registrations in their own states, so that way they can use that as a stepping stone to sneak those illegal immigrant voters into bigger votes that have to do with the federal government. Watch. I can already fucking see it. Watch. The fact that voting, anything that has to do with voting, isn't regulated at the federal level and isn't allowed to be passed or done at the individual state level is amazing to me. I am shocked they're allowed to do this. I am.
They pay their taxes. Many of them are homeowners, but they don't have a say over the policies that affect their children and their families on any given day.
How's it going, Mark?
The thing they pretended to never want is exactly what they're openly pushing through in deep blue cities. That same thing that, if it was actually allowed, would hand the Democrats every single federal election forever. This was supposed to be about workers' wages that would be perpetually depressed if you import millions of more workers, all while ignoring their actual enemy rolling right by.
And here comes somebody to steal somebody's job. All right, next up we're gonna Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, no, whatever. That's not my problem. I want to welcome to the podium next.
The sheer irony of entitled idiots skipping work on a weekday to say they deserve higher wages, watching this autonomous robot working his unpaid 24-hour workday that he will never complain about. This is like...
And you know what's funny? Is that when AI starts taking teacher jobs, they're still going to be out there protesting for mass immigration. Don't you just love it, boys? Don't you just love to see the stupidity calling itself? I sure do.
Like watching the dinosaurs see the first comets across their sky, as the working class is facing an extinction-level event, and they're too busy being turned into useful idiots for the Democrats to realize students are already switching to classes online, having their papers graded by AI that they wrote in AI, so now is definitely not the time to take a random day off to demand higher pay and illegal voting rights. So if you appreciate my concern...
That is insane to me, bro. That is crazy. That's fucking crazy that this is happening, bro. I can't even with that shit. I just can't. I have just...
Mayday activists...
they really want to allow mass importation of their own voter base. Like, these idiots are they are completely destroying their own structure. Holy shit. There's a reason why you're not the ones getting paid, idiot. Like, they already have immigrants that are on Skid Row with their entire family. They have immigrants on Skid Row in tents from Cuba saying that Cuba was better. Now they're importing illegals. What do you think is going to happen whenever they're done with the illegals, you dipshits? Jesus, man.
I'm making fun of the Starbucks CEO because he recently defended the absurd price tag, the $9 cup of joe, and then talked about how customers are willing to shell out that premium because it's a great experience. It's all about a great seat and making a great connection with your barista. Basically, you're going to fall in love with your barista and it's worth every goddamn penny. Now, the reason why I've just given you that, like, AI synopsis right there on what this video is going to be about is
Let's
because...
go, Megabyte. I think you're
right,
Beastie Boy. I do. I think you're absolutely right. All that water that was, like, a lot of that water ends up getting burned off because of how hot that RAM runs for the AI systems. And it makes the water prices skyrocket. It makes the electricity around your neighborhood skyrocket. I don't understand who the hell thought that AI was a great thing to just mass produce. Now that Sora's out of business, I feel like it's gonna be continuous. Like, I feel like other AI companies are gonna go out of business, and then the fact that all that water was just wasted, bro. That
I don't know how much of the actual interview I can use here because it's the Wall Street Journal, and historically the Wall Street Journal is like a fucking cartel when it comes to anything that it produces.
Well, the only way that it could be recycled is if it just so happened to be, poured down in the rain around you. But, like, I mean, that depends on if it was or wasn't contaminated by whatever systems they use. Because if that water was contaminated and they can't use it again, that's an even bigger problem. I'm not an AI technician. I don't know how the hell any of that shit works. But I can almost guarantee you that some of that stuff is probably going to be contaminated from, like, certain chemicals getting involved, certain chemicals mixing in the water. Like, who knows, right? My nose itches. But, like, it's either way, the fact that they were taking the resources that we already didn't really have and putting it towards AI and then taking electricity and making people's electric bills skyrocket makes me wonder exactly what they did to the water, what they did to the electricity, like how is this going to affect this over time? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we going to have higher water prices? Are we going to have higher electricity for 20, 30 years? Is it going to be a year? Is it going to be 6 months? Because, like, even now, like, the electricity is around here even has skyrocketed almost double. So, like, I'm so curious to know if it's going to stay stagnant, if it's going to go up or down. We don't know what the long-term effects of this are.
I'm making fun of the Starbucks CEO because he recently defended the absurd price tag, the $9 cup of Joe, and then talked about how customers are willing to shell out that premium because it's a great experience. It's all about a great seat and making a great connection with your barista. Basically, you're going to fall in love with your barista and it's worth every goddamn penny. Now, the reason why I've just given you that, like,
AI... Not a lot of people are aware that the AI data centers that popped up, or the AI centers that popped up, are what led to the increase in the electricity in the area. Not a lot of y'all know that. I saw a couple things about it, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, that's what did it. That's what caused y'all's electricity to skyrocket. If you live in a neighborhood where maybe a data center or something popped up for AI, y'all's electricity probably either went 2x or 3x. I saw some people saying that their electric bill was almost $700 a month. And it was originally like 2 or 3.
Synopsis right there on what this video is going to be about is because I don't know how much of the actual interview I can use here because it's the Wall Street Journal, and historically the Wall Street Journal is like a fucking cartel when it comes to anything that it produces. Or even if I've shown you like a clip from something in the Wall Street Journal, I've gotten in trouble in the past for it. Even if it's like a 5 or 10 second clip, they've come at me looking for fucking scalp. They'd be plucking my teeth out of my mouth until I apologized. Like, I do not fuck with the Wall Street Journal. Like, they've done great...
Well, I think it depends on if the center that popped up around you, if it was an AI center that was linked to Sora, then it'll either get... Now, here's the bad part. It'll either get sold to another open source AI or another AI. I don't know if Sora's open or not, but another AI company. And then that company will continue to run your electric bill through the roof. See, that's the problem. But from what I understand, the entire reason why Sora shut down was because of the high electric costs that it caused to electricity consumers in the areas around the centers. So one would hope that they shut the fuck down and shut down the data centers, right? Or the AI system centers. But we don't know that, and we won't know that either.
Reporting, I get that, but any time that I've tried to opine on something that's been broken by the Wall Street Journal, I am very prohibited in what I'm allowed to show you.
Sticks in the chat?
We're going to be looking at like a transcript, and maybe I'll jump scare you with like split seconds of this CEO talking in the interview and see how that goes. So yesterday, the Starbucks CEO, Brian Buttfuck My Wallet, went on to defend the company's
I actually want to know what... So like, Sticks definitely has... He probably knows more about this than I do here. I'm going to pull up Sticks. Sticks, what do you know about the AI centers and stuff? I've heard a lot of here and there about it, but I don't know, man. Because I know for a fact you're probably way more informed about this than I am. What do you have about this? You're not in trouble or nothing. Don't think that you're in trouble or anything. He's not in trouble. I want to know because like I don't know too much about it. I've just heard some information here and there spottily all over the internet about the data centers and stuff. So like I want to make sure that what I'm saying is like accurate. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to like. I'll give him some time to type it up because I'm sure he's got a lot to say about it. I'm a former farmer. We've been going bankrupt because of the over-regulations from the Democrat policies. I actually know a little bit about what you're talking about as well. I don't understand why the fuck they're over. Like, are you a corporate farmer? Are you like part of a corporation? Or are you a family farmer? Because I've noticed that a lot of the corporate farmers are getting the benefits that the Democrats are putting in policies. So, some Republicans are doing it too. But I've noticed that it's been like a lot of the Democrats trying to crack down on like the family farmers. It's almost like they're trying to get rid of the family farmers across the U.S. I don't understand why. It's so weird. It will be expensive at first, then the data centers get their own power, hopefully nuclear, then eventually sell that power to their local areas and energy will go down. But that's the weird part, is that Sora shut down because it was costing its local power consumers, like average Joes like me and you, more money. If that was their maybe they lied. Maybe they lied, and that's why they were trying to sell like it was, oh yeah, the energy will go down, guys. It'll be okay. But really, that was never their goal. Because if what you're saying is true, and I don't doubt that it's true, why would Sora shut down for that reason? You see where, like, because I've seen that too. I've seen that explanation too. But then I found out the reason why Sora shut down, and I was like, well, that's very concerning to me. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you see, like, that's where I'm at now, too. I'm like, dude, what? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Did they lie to us? Are they still, like, what are they doing? I didn't know anything about that. That's a thing that they're trying to pass? Government trying to pass a bill that will shut down your car. Oh yeah, no, that needs to be a thing. I'm sorry, I was a first responder, but I think a kill switch in a vehicle to prevent people from fleeing the police is the best thing they can do. Straight up. If ICE agents were able to turn off Renee Good's car, it could have prevented a loss of life. I think that being able to turn off a person's vehicle as a police officer to keep them from running is the best thing. I'm sorry. There are too many people's lives at stake when these schizos barrel through an intersection. I have held too many people's heads together on pavement to say anything that is against them putting a kill switch in vehicles. I'm sorry. I think that they should personally missile blow their car up. Whenever you decide to start fleeing the police and you put everybody else in danger, you should just be able to get, like, airstruck off the roadway. That's my honest opinion. Be thankful I'm not in charge, because I'd have you killed. We just watched a video yesterday on one person that got struck and killed because somebody decided to run from the police. I have zero sympathy for that. I'm sorry. I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't. I think it's an amazing thing. I think that a kill switch for cars is a great idea. Because my alternative, trust me, no one's going to want to do my alternative. So.
Cup of coffee, insisting that the price reflects a premium experience offered to customers. He also was recently granted access to the company jet for personal.
Do you think, hold on, if the government right now wanted to take over every single city in this country, do you think for 1 second we would be able to do a damn thing about it? You would let it happen. You know how I know that? COVID. They had the lockdowns for COVID, and you know what happened? A whole lot of people stayed home. If our government wanted to mobilize the United States military and lock down this country, they could do it, and there wouldn't be a damn thing anybody can do about it. You know why? Because we've got the most advanced military in the world. We should just be thankful they're on our side. Bro, they have people that spy on you through your camera in your house. Who knows what they can and can't do? They go into other countries and they turn the lights off. That's what they did in Cuba. I mean, not Cuba, Venezuela. They went up in there and they turned the power off. If you think for a second the United States government couldn't do what the fuck they wanted to us, you're crazy. Like, they can do whatever the hell they want, and there's not a damn thing we can do about it.
travel, which is a nice little tiddlywink of information I didn't know about. So thanks to the article here for enlightening me on that, because he definitely deserves it.
Or a discount. Did you know Americans pay for the oil companies, even rebuilding Venezuela, but the oil sold in the... I mean, the thing is that us getting the oil from Venezuela causes the oil prices to go down. It could also be the reason why our oil prices haven't skyrocketed since the issue with Iran. So, like, you'd be surprised.
Brian needs to be traveling luxuriously, and he's doing the Lord's work out there. He's delivering mediocre coffee to every sucker out there willing to fork over all the clams for it. He also said that customers across all income levels are willing and happy to shell out big money for a chance to interact with baristas or score a great seat inside the chain. This article's kind of underselling.
See, I don't agree with that at all. I hate that we send our taxpayer dollars to foreigners. I think I'm right on board with you there. Like, if we have to take over a foreign country just to get their oil and better American lives, I'm fine with that. But I don't like taking our taxpayer dollars and sending it to a country to fight over a country, and then that country, like, we help, like, for example, Venezuela. We help Venezuela. It should make the cost at the pump go, like, plummet. If that oil is going to a different country and not us, I don't agree with that at all. Like, I don't agree with that at all. If all we did was establish another place where we can just throw sacks of money at, I don't like that idea. If that place benefits the U.S., I could see more along the lines of, sure, okay, I'll give it a chance, why not? But if all we're doing is throwing money at it for no reason, with no benefit, I don't like that. Though, I will say, the long-term economic effect of no longer having Venezuelans flee Venezuela is a great thing, because we don't have to take their refugees anymore because they're not running. So I can see the long-term effects that would have, for sure. So, like, it's kind of like a tit-for-tat kind of scenario, honestly.
How he portrays that. If I could show you more of the video, I would. But I'm going to drop that little bit and hope that it's okay. I mean, it's going to be less than 3 seconds. I feel like there's no fucking argument Wall Street Journal could make to take down this video, but I guess we'll see. I think it's important you hear it right from his lips.
That value is to be able to have a great seat, have a great...
I don't...
at least of this segment of the interview. So he's talking about the value you get, about the great seat, which I will slam my fist on the desk and shout, objection. What great seat? It's fucking Starbucks.
Yeah, that's one of the things with Iran, though, is like, we need to help Iran. We need to, because the IRGC is calling for the death of America. We have to do something. Like, they're calling for the death of America. They cull, like, 45,000. They killed 45,000 of their own people, of non-IRGC combatants, the peaceful protesters, the people that, put the government where it was at originally 47 years ago, after they were taken over, you know what I'm saying? What I don't particularly like about this whole situation is the fact that Trump isn't willing to go the mile in order to end this. He shouldn't be talking about bombing the infrastructure. He should just be bombing the infrastructure. I don't like how this. I don't like how the Iran war is right now in its current state. We shouldn't be trying to peace talk with terrorists. We should be trying to completely eliminate them off the face of the planet and make it very punishable if any of them pop up, or if there are any copycats that pop up into their politics again. I don't understand how you could start a war and not be prepared to wipe out a civilization. It's so stupid. It's stupid.
It's like the most sterile, generic environment you can ever find yourself in. You sit down in a swamp-ass throne and you maybe tinker away on your laptop or something while drinking some mid-ass coffee. What great seat are you talking about here, Brian? And I can't make a lot of promises to you about what you'll encounter in your life, but I can make one promise that I know 100% with certainty will never happen, and that's you forming a special connection with your barista over going to Starbucks and getting yourself a coffee.
How's it going, Red Raven?
Happen. I don't know what he's talking about. Do they have like intimacy coordinators on staff at Starbucks where they try and like get the baristas excited to maybe fall in love with a customer or something after serving a pumpkin spice latte? I doubt it. They are workers looking to just do their job and go about their day.
Let me see. What member of the Iranian regime said that Iran had nukes and were ready to use them and wanted to use them? What member of the Iranian regime said that the percentage of enriched uranium was above 60? I mean, if you Google it, it says that there's a shitload of Tehran releases exceptionary note defending 60% enrichment. Like, come on. Come on. Just Google it. There's shitloads of them. They all say the same thing. Oh, whoops. They were gonna make nukes. That's what they said they were gonna do. Hold on, let me see. Who in the regime leadership said that they were going to make nukes with the enriched uranium in Iran? Says here several senior Iranian officials and advisors have indicated that Iran possesses the technical capabilities of producing nuclear weapons using their enriched uranium stockpiles, particularly if they feel their existence is threatened, a position that marks a shift in the earlier denials of such intentions. Well, there you go. So, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, man. See, this is a good old-fashioned case of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I know, he doesn't believe we went to the moon. So I said, what kind of evidence would convince you? He said, images of the landing site of the Apollo missions. So I said, okay, here's a website where we sent an orbiter to the moon so that it was close enough, because ground-based telescopes, they don't have the resolution to see the landing sites. But if you get close enough to the moon, you can. It photographed the entire surface of the moon, and there were the landing sites, and you saw the rover tracks, the base for the lunar module.
All you gotta do is
that night,
Google
he went
it.
home and found it. Then he came back and says, NASA could have faked that. Well, I'm done with you. We have no more to talk about.
That's right.
Because he's not ready to be convinced.
That's right. I mean,
If you resist,
if I pull up the proof, then I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm making fun of the Starbucks.
And I don't think so. I think that if we're having this much trouble with Russia in the Ukraine war, the last thing we need is a bunch of people that kill 45,000 of its own people to get their hands on nuclear weapons. That's the last thing we need.
This is a $9 experience. I'm not going to show you any more from the actual interview, but Brian does go on to drop some premium nuggets. What we're seeing is people, they want to have a special experience, and regardless of what your income level is, in some cases, a $9 experience does feel like you're splurging. And then what that means is we have to make it worthwhile, right? And then in other cases, people believe, well, this is really affordable premium experience, because they're saying like, well, it's less than $10 and I get a really premium experience. I don't know what dimension this guy lives in, but it's so detached.
Oh, I didn't even see that. That's funny. Where's he at? There he is. Cannibal Joker. A grown-ass man sitting on a onesie. On? Am I sitting on it? No, I'm not even sitting on it. On a onesie complaining to the internet with a bunch of Trump videos pulled up. Sad, really sad. Do you have anything to add? Or are you just a complainer? I think that's the only thing this guy's gonna say, huh? Got pulled up and realized that he was too much of a coward to continue? What? You know what? He's probably gonna be the first one of the day. I doubt he'll be the last, but he's gonna be the first. Copy. Oh man, what are we gonna do with this guy? What are we gonna do with this guy? What's gonna happen to you, man? What's gonna happen to you? We don't know yet. Let's find out. Oh. Yeah, if you're new here, like the stream. Make sure y'all hit like on the stream, man. Helps out with them views. Sub to the channel. We're here every single day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time, having fun, making fun, and doing the fun. You know what I'm saying? Every day, boys. Damn, bro, cooked. How's it going, Infamous Lord? Oh, wait, you know what I should be doing? Let me pull that guy up so that way y'all can see why he's on the chopping block. Hold on. There we go. Y'all can see why he's on the chopping block. The only thing that's sad is that you don't have a job that occupies your time enough to where you're not in my comments. Go get a girlfriend or something, bro. Go jerk off. You know, like do something a little bit more productive than just getting in people's comments and being a negative Nancy all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something else. There we go. Bro's cooked. WWW.
From reality. Out of touch doesn't even begin to encompass this. This is just like actual mental illness. This is delusional. He needs to be institutionalized. He needs to be medicated. What is Goober even yapping about? What premium experience? Every Starbucks is exactly the same. They're copy and paste. It's a place where joy goes to die. I wonder if you can tell that I'm not the biggest fan of Starbucks. I wonder if that's coming through loud and clear. I have never had a positive experience at one. The food is at best. I'm not a coffee drinker already, so they have nothing to offer me, and every time I've tried coffee from there, it's even worse than other coffees I've tried elsewhere. There's nothing.
I don't know what's going on with Starbucks. I think between the unions and the freaking price of their damn coffee now, bro, like Starbucks is just... Look, Starbucks has good tasting coffee, but the minute that I have to start paying $10 when I could just go to McDonald's and get a large for like half the fucking price, I don't know what the... and then, like, I don't know if anybody else has had this problem, but prior to meeting somebody, I avoided Starbucks because, like, the way they talked about their large sizes and stuff, like the venti and and all that crap, dude, that shit's confusing. I don't know about y'all, but that shit's confusing to me. I always get a girl to order my shit, dude. If it had not been for two females in my life, I don't think I'd ever would have drank Starbucks ever. Straight up.
Nothing premium about it. That's like saying
like Starbucks to me is like a luxury drink. You know what I'm saying?
The shitter at the AMC movie theater is premium because you're comparing it to a gas station toilet at the local Shell. Like, it's still trash, man. Like, there's nothing premium about it.
Damn, bro, make sure you get some good tile, man, because once you tile it up, if you got a house, man, whatever you do, make sure that you don't get the big tiles, because if you do, there's a good chance they're going to crack on you. Make sure you get some tiles that are flexible. Don't get none of that hard shit, man, because your house is always going to be settling. It's always going to be settling, dude. Make sure that whatever you get, you can bend. Make sure, because if not, you're going to be replacing tiles every other fucking year.
It is like the most by the numbers, formulaic, nothing new establishment you could ever venture into.
I don't know how we in the year 2026 and we don't have bendable tiles yet. I'm sure they exist. I think I've seen them. Make sure you get them. Like, There is nothing worse than whenever you bust your ass and you've got to go in there and tear up all that grout and then fucking replace the tiles because the thing is shifting.
And overpay for. You're paying $9 for a normal experience of just going and
It happened to my grandmother. It happened to the house that I was staying at. It happened in actually the apartment that I'm in now. The tiles fucking cracking like crazy. Yeah. But just be careful with what you decide to get. Make sure it looks good, but make sure that shit's not gonna crack in a year.
A mediocre beverage. There's nothing special about it, and there is certainly nothing that Starbucks does to make it worthwhile for $9. That is just expensive. I don't know who he is citing when he's saying, and then people look at it like, well, this is really affordable for a premium experience because it's less than $10. Nobody says that. No, not even an NPC that you programmed would say that. Because it's not. There's no premium experience, and there's nothing affordable about it. It's expensive. And also, it speaks volumes that he can't even justify the $9 price tag on the merit of the beverage itself. Instead,
why would the Congo want to take back the mines? What kind of mines are they?
It's relying on these ancillary things like $9 may feel like splurging, but we have to consider the entire experience of going into the Starbucks. That's what's most important, the ambiance. That's what makes it worth it. The premium.
Your house will settle. Your house settles. The more your house settles, you'll see it on the outside of houses as well. Bricks will crack on the outside of your house. It doesn't necessarily mean you have a fucked up foundation. It doesn't. It doesn't mean that the foundation is cracked either. But it is a sign that you should definitely be more aware of what's going on with the house. Get your foundation inspected. Make sure you check up on your chimney. If you've got a chimney in your house, you need to make sure you check that damn chimney. Because I stayed at a place, the chimney was in the middle of the house and it was sinking into the thing. They had to bring in this big machine and push the chimney up, and then they refixed it, right? That could also fuck with your foundation as well. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong with that. Just make sure that if you start seeing cracked tiles if you start seeing cracked tiles and cracked bricks, that you make damn sure you invest that. It's like $500 to get somebody out to inspect that foundation. You want to catch that shit early, boy, early. But normally cracked tile is a sign of the foundation settling. It's always going to be settling. The earth moves, believe it or not. It moves, boys. It happens, okay? The earth has this way of eating things, you know what I'm saying?
Experience. He can't even just say with his whole chest that our drinks are so good and so high quality that they warrant a $9 price tag. You're paying for the highest quality coffee on the planet. Because that's not what you're paying for. You're just overpaying for mid shit. And he knows that. And he knows he wouldn't be able to get away with saying that. So instead he's relying on these like X Factor things of a connection with the barista, a great seat, and of course, the premium Starbucks experience of being lucky enough to come inside of a Starbucks. It's a privilege. And you should feel honored every time you walk through those doors. That's what warrants the $9 price tag. Not our shit-ass coffee. Anyway, the interview continues.
I have an idea. You don't tell me what to do on my channel, and you're right. I have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to houses. That's why I paid $400 to seek a professional that told me this. It was literally their job to inspect foundations. And you know what I did? I sat down and I kept my trap shut and I learned something from it. Maybe you should do the same sometimes. I'll trust the professional and the information they give me. How about that? And if you don't like it, then I would highly advise you leave. Because if not, you're in the wrong chat. This is my chat, and you'll show respect to me, and you'll show respect to the other chatters as well.
Brian keeps putting his asshole in his mouth. He's talking about how Starbucks is actually doing very well, hasn't been impacted, and then even bragged about how the coffee chain is...
I mean, I'm happy that you built your house. Yeah, I'm glad for you. I'm happy for you. I don't really care, though. I am restating what was told to me by a professional. You don't like getting called out. Don't like getting called out. I don't give a fuck about it. Don't. Oh, wait, not you. Is this the same guy? No, it is. I don't like being told what to do. Would you say, Bud, be quiet, you don't know shit about houses and settling? I don't like being told what to do on my channel. I'm the dictator of this channel. I put it up to a vote to other people on this channel if you get banned or not. But even if they decide to vote you to stay, I still ban people. It's my channel, I'll say what I want. I'm going to try to make sure that what I'm saying is the most accurate and reliable thing that I can say. But if you don't like it... I've heard that about porcelain, but I'm not sure. I don't know how true that is. It seems like you've got it in good faith, but I'm just warning you to be respectful. That's it. That's all I want from you. Just be respectful. Same goes to anybody else.
Doing really well with younger generations. Hey Brian, you know what else is doing really well with younger generations? Fucking tongue sahur. Scalping Nidos. Fighting each other over Pokemon cards at Walmart and Target. That statement is a nothing burger to me. In my eyes, it is a full-blown venti vaporwave nothingness. Starbucks hasn't done anything to improve the quality of its products or...
We got somebody in the other chat. Timothy said that I build houses, so yeah, they do settle over years. Soil is never stable in Alaska. We build it on pillings, and those homes settle way less. I feel like Texas needs to do that. We've got a lot of loose dirt that kind of is like clay around here. I feel like Texas foundations need to do something like maybe laying more heavy duty pillars into the dirt prior to setting the foundation, because the dirt around here settles like crazy, bro. It does. Like it moves around so much in Texas.
Improve its brand or anything at all. So I don't think it
How's
being
it
successful
going,
with the
Ambitious
younger
Wired?
generations is a testament to
We
it
also got
doing
Everett in the other chat as well, and Unreal Scallywags.
Right? It's a testament to it just being there and existing. And the younger generation has clearly heard of it before.
I thought the same thing too. I looked up a bunch of shit online about the cracked bricks, but then I got a foundation. I paid $500 to get a foundation guy out, right? Because okay, so I stayed at a house where they had to pick the foundation up and then they redid the foundation, and it was supposed to be covered under a warranty, right? So the foundation had already been redone. I noticed the cracked bricks on the outside of the house that were new, and I was like, that's a fucking problem. So, I scoured the internet and did what every person that didn't know what the hell was going on did. Panicked myself because they said my house had cancer, and then I called the foundation guy, paid him $500. They came and looked at it, and they had determined that the chimney was sinking in. And then they came out, they fixed the chimney, and it pretty much stopped. But they did say that there's a good chance that it's probably still going to settle. It's going to happen, like standard stuff. But it was, in fact, there was something obviously wrong. The chimney was sinking into the damn dirt. So,
so they're willing to consume the product.
Welcome,
That's it. I don't think he's hit some kind of home run here
Weird,
in recent
unusual.
Starbucks
I'm
changes.
from Alaska, and we deal with permafrost. We build a one foundations.
From everything I've seen, there haven't been any. It's just the same old Starbucks, but now just even more expensive than I ever thought possible for its shit. This fucking guy is so cringe. We're doing really well with Gen Z and millennials, and then really had strong performances across all income cohorts. It can start with as little as $3 for a traditional cup of coffee. And then obviously you can build your way into all sorts of customized drinks that people love and that move that ticket up. The way we're going to play the value game is you're gonna feel like it was worth it. Who walks away from Starbucks saying, holy shit, all that money I wasted was worth it? That was a premium experience. Who does that? What kind of actual loser has that kind of parting thoughts? Like, man, $9 down the tubes? But what a fucking experience. Oh my god, I think the barista might want to...
Who even goes into a Starbucks anymore? I feel like people that go into Starbucks aren't even there for the coffee. They're there for the Wi-Fi, no? I don't even remember the last time I set foot inside of the Starbucks. We've I either get it that shit like DoorDashed or Ubered, or we just go through the drive-through. Who has the time to go to a store like that and just sit in the dining area unless you don't have Wi-Fi at your house, or you're being forced to go out by your by your parents or something, and it's in the neighborhood.
Have sex with me. I think the barista wants to marry me. It just doesn't happen. There's no premium experience. He insists customers value the experience over discounts or flashy one-off promotions. Oh, that's what everyone says. I don't want to save money.
You know what? Is it German that what country makes the thickest walls for houses in the world?
Make sure when I go to Starbucks, everything is exactly the same.
German, isn't it?
A connection with the barista. Please.
Oh, Russian
help me
is
save
often
money.
cited as having some of the thickest residential house walls in the world, with traditional and older brick buildings commonly featuring outer walls ranging from 0.5 to 2.5 meters, roughly 1.6 to 8 feet thick. Holy shit. Man, you guys aren't building houses down there. You building bomb shelters. God damn.
With discounts or anything, I want to waste...
8 feet thick walls? Shit. What the
Maximum
fuck?
amounts of money here at the same fucking Starbucks as always. Yeehaw. I'm sure, Brian. I'm sure. Anyway, I won't blabber on more about this guy. Just another painfully out-of-touch CEO I had to clown on. That's really about it. See ya.
Tofu dredge. That's BP gas station has better coffee than $10 Starbucks coffee. Dude, the best coffee I ever had, and let me tell you something what my definition of coffee is. My definition of coffee that's good is whenever you drink it and it's so bitter that it stings your tongue and it makes your eyes pop wide open. All right, that's coffee. It's the Coffee du Monde from HEB. It's HEB brand Coffee du Monde. It comes in a yellow can, like a can, like canned peas, and you have to open it with a can opener, and it's got like a white lid on top, right? That coffee, you drink some of that coffee, brother. Let me tell you something. That coffee will simmer your ADHD down. That shit is strong. Bro, I drink a cup of that whenever I don't have my pills. Let me tell you something. I'm going to be doing like 30 pieces 30 essays in an hour. Okay? I have given that coffee to firefighters and they said that it was too strong for them to drink. Okay? When I talk about bitter, I usually don't drink my coffee with anything in it. No sugar, no creamer. That coffee is so bitter that you will drink that in the morning and you will still taste it in the afternoon. Okay? strong and black. Jesus, man. So I think this lady finally found her calling.
We need y'all to like get out of here with your signs.
What do you mean? Oh, you have borders on this campus.
No, we have this space reserved as an official event.
Yeah, so you have borders. Where's your borders at?
This whole green area right here.
So you want to control who comes in and out, like an ICE agent or a border patrol agent.
Uh-oh.
You wouldn't dare act like a would you?
Uh-huh.
I would really encourage you on a rally on a campus. This is an event for sanctuary campuses. You probably shouldn't act like a border patrol agent. You should take down your borders and let whoever wants on the space, okay? Why is your lip quivering?
This is what happens when you use their logic against them.
Oh, he's mad.
Because you've been called out on how you're acting exactly like how you don't, what you're advocating
he's
against.
getting mad.
You're acting just like them. So if you believe in illegal aliens allowing to have sanctuary on this campus, put your money where your mouth is, leave me alone, and let me have sanctuary on this campus, okay?
Man, what a surprise.
That's right. That's right. When you start using these people's logic against them, they don't, it's the same reason why I can sit down in my nice cozy chair and be nice and cozy, and I don't have to go down to Minneapolis and freeze my nutsack to my leg and be violent. Because the minute you start applying this logic to anything else in society, it falls apart. Just like Billie Eilish and that bullshit. Well, no one owns anything on stolen land. Bitch, they did. What you mean? And you know what's crazy? They did, and you still built your nice big mansion with your nice big fucking brick wall that is a border on reservation land, and they're trying to take your house now because of that.
We need y'all
Don't you
to,
just
like, get
love
out of
it?
here with your signs.
What do you mean? Oh, you have borders on this campus.
No, we have this space reserved as an official event.
Yeah, so you have borders. Where's your borders at?
This whole green area right here.
So you want to control who comes in and out, like an ICE agent or a border patrol agent.
Uh-oh.
You wouldn't dare act like a would you?
Uh-huh.
I would really encourage you on a rally on a campus. This is an event for sanctuary campuses. You probably shouldn't act like a border patrol agent. You should take down your borders and let whoever wants on the space, okay? Why is your lip quivering?
Oh, he's mad.
Because you've been called out on how you're acting exactly like how you don't, what you're advocating
he's
against.
getting mad.
You're acting just like them. So if you believe in illegal aliens allowing to have sanctuary on this campus, put your money where your mouth is, leave me alone, and let me have sanctuary on this campus, okay?
Man, what?
Man, I like completely blown away by that. Completely annihilated. We got another a nuisance streamer, content creator
through a Target, all for TikTok views, I guess. And the worst,
you know what the worst part about it is? TikTok views are useless. I got 35,000 followers on TikTok. So I got a little story behind this that I saw. So there was a content creator that was a TikToker that got super mega famous and had super high viral status because he was a stand-up comedian. And for a time, stand-up comedians were heavily promoted on TikTok. So tell me why he sits down with officials from TikTok because he's no longer getting viewership. And they tell him that the promotion for stand-up comedy has gone away. He's got like 12 million followers. None of them can see his content because it's no longer being promoted at all. It's not popping up on anybody's feed whatsoever. And they tell him, hey, well, what you can do is you can do like the new trending dances and stuff. And this comedian, this guy looked at him at the two specialists and said, I would rather do myself in than to sit here and do a stupid TikTok dance. And then he got up and walked out. And he stopped using TikTok altogether. Like, TikTok is one of those platforms that you don't really make a lot of money on TikTok. Unless you've got like 12, 13, 14,000 views per video per TikTok. You just don't, it's the least money-making platform that I've seen out of every platform. Unless you want to count Twitch, but, you know, Aspen doesn't do it any justice.
That about it.
So, like, the fact that people are doing this for TikTok views blows my mind.
They're wearing the arrest kind of like a badge of honor.
But how's it going, Danielle? See, what you gotta do with this guy is you gotta start getting the police involved. You put this guy in jail. You take you get the judge to subpoena his TikTok account, and then you talk to the TikTok execs, and you get this shit banned off the platform. And you do the same thing with any other platform he has. We may live in the day and age within the next 10 years where when you go and do something like this and you face legal repercussions, it could follow you into your career on social media. I know a lot of content creators are like, you can't advocate for deplatforming. You can't. I'm not a nuisance streamer, man. This is annoying. You are disrupting a business by going and driving a lawnmower around in there. It's annoying to everybody. Who knows what you could hit? What if a kid fell and you accidentally ran over their leg or something, bro? What are you doing? This is stupid. This is actually stupid. That's what you fucking get, loser. That's what you fucking get. That is what you get. That's what you get. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, dumbass. That's what you get.
Or, well, at least one of them is, because I'm sure it's probably not the best for a positivity.
I mean, any real man would just flip himself on his hands and walk. Am I right? Yeah, who knows? Maybe he didn't need both his legs. You know what I'm saying?
And fitness influencers.
That's a funny comment, but come on.
People for attention
it's funny though. I'm not being sarcastic towards you. I'm actually like, that's funny. It's funny.
Point where countless young adults are happily making their own lives harder so they can simply get the online reaction of, why would someone do that? It's just not worth it. And then everyone forgets about whatever they did just a few weeks later, but they still have.
They're getting bigger. They're getting bigger, and there are more copycats because they're not facing any real world repercussions for going into the store and riding a fucking lawnmower. Like, at most, this guy's gonna get a slap on the wrist. Like, it is good to see him being arrested, but are there going to be any actual charges from this?
Their own actions.
Are they actually going to get charged and convicted?
Damn, that's crazy. Is not worth making your life harder over. Regardless, though, I guess when one of these guys didn't see immediate success overnight, it seems like he just decided to get attention by any means necessary. Unfortunately for these guys, though, it feels like we're starting.
And the thing is with these nuisance streamers is that, like, the biggest problem with the nuisance streaming atmosphere and the reason why they need to be deplatformed is because they have to be bigger and badder every time they make a new video. That's the biggest problem with it. They have to do something that's even worse than last time, even more against the law. They've got to go into a store and spray fucking poison on something like that one guy did. They got to ride a lawnmower through freaking Target or wherever the hell that store was. They have to sit here and do some kind of weird DoorDash thing. Like, it just gets worse every time they do it. It
hit the wall for going viral for just being stupid, and I feel like they're just going to skip right over the fame part and go straight to losing out on opportunities due to your digital footprint. Again, congratulations, you played yourself. Because now, anytime they're applying for a school or a job, they're going to have an article of them plowing a lawnmower into a Target door and overalls show up. So I don't know how much that's going to help them or affect them in the future. Who knows? We live in interesting times. Regardless, I just don't.
It's very disruptive to drive a lawnmower in a store, and not to mention the safety issues that they could have from that. Like, if the store isn't, like, really well ventilated, you can cause, like, exhaust, like, inhalation, which could kill people. Like, you could really fuck up doing that. I mean, sure, he only drove it in a little ways, but here's the thing. You had one guy drive a lawnmower into a store. If you don't take action, you're going to have two guys driving a lawnmower into a store. If you don't take action, you're going to have three guys driving a lawnmower into a store. You have to completely crush this mentality and stop it before it expands. You give them an inch, they will take the whole goddamn mile and then some. That's the thing. The second you instantaneously crack down on this is the second they stop doing it.
I don't know how this can be considered a solid decision because it's hard to monetize a stunt like that unless they promote some sort of like gambling website in the middle of it. But who are these people from what it looks like are walking peptides?
See you around, bestie. See you either tomorrow or sometime next week. Stay safe. Drive safely.
Stacks. Well, Luke Charsky and Yannick Zakardek. I butchered that name. Yannick Zakardek. Yannick Zakardek. I think it's that. Okay. But they're both 18-year-olds who live in Florida. And like many people their age, they've essentially been trying to go viral since they can get their hands on a camera.
Hi guys, what you doing? I am Luke. Welcome to my channel, and I am 12, and this is my first video.
Instantaneously banned off the platform. Instantaneously banned off the platform, no exception. Why is this even a question? Kids shouldn't be on social media, period. What are we doing?
And I got a GoPro for Christmas, so I...
And you know what's more terrifying about this? Is that I've heard stories and allegations of TikTok allowing older people to get their hands on these young kids like this, their accounts. And they what they do is they ask for pictures, and then the kids send the pictures, and then they end up causing like this death spiral where if they don't send more pictures, then they get blackmailed and stuff. So like there's no reason for these kids to be on the internet, period.
Why not?
And this is all evidenced by this YouTube channel that seems to belong to a young Luke, where he was posted such online content as prank calls, arm wrestling, BMX tricks, and sting pong. I had to Google what that was, but apparently it just means that you try to hit your opponent with a ping pong ball as hard as possible, and you get bonus points if you make a well. I mean, those are just harmless kid activities that is just kind of a part of growing up. But it's safe to say that Luke and Yannick here have very different social media presences. It seems like both these guys wanted to start off as fitness pages, but they went their own way with their content, to put it lightly. And it's a little bit confusing at first because Luke has two accounts, but one is way more successful than the other one. On one of these accounts, he's still actively posting, and he's posing as a inspirational 18-year-old who learns how to do a new thing in a day. And I mean, after going through his account, the dude is talented. He makes very high effort and entertaining content, and it shows because he has over 600,000 followers on Instagram, which is not easy to do if you're not botting your stuff. And looking at his account, everything looks legit. So if he has all that going, why is he getting arrested for driving a lawnmower inside of a Target? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me because, again, what he's doing is solid, engaging, and risk-free before the stunt. So why take the risk on the stunt?
Day 2 proving you can get good at literally everything.
It's been like 5 minutes and I got the first 2 layers. Stop playing with your boy.
Where? And the cube is solved. Let's go.
And I feel like the big problem here is the stunt isn't even that funny. It's just one of those like, damn, that's crazy. Why would you do that? Like, that's the kind of video it is. But regardless, he made a whole bunch of viral videos on his main Instagram account and just decided he was going to get arrested for driving a lawnmower inside of a Target next. It just doesn't make sense to me.
So this guy does these videos. He already makes money off of just doing like stuff like this that's stupid. Oh, solving like a random thing. Why the fuck would you waste your time with that? Like, why would you waste your time driving a lawnmower in a store? Is the criminal record for doing that really worth it?
It's been like 5 minutes and I got the first 2 layers. Stop playing with your boy.
Like, let's think long term here, because I know this guy probably fails miserably at that. If you got a criminal record, and let's say one day, magically they ban all accounts that have nuisance streamer content or nuisance content creator content where they're out there bullying or harassing or causing problems for the general population, and you get both of your accounts completely banned because you decided to go and fuck with somebody or drive a lawnmower through a store, and now you have a criminal record. Like, it's not hard enough to find a job as it is. Like, you gotta sit there and do that stupid shit. Like, I don't.
And the cube is solved. Let's go.
Like, what?
And I feel like the big problem here is the stunt isn't even that funny. It's just one of those like, damn, that's crazy. Why would you?
You know why that kind of content goes viral? It's because the algorithm shows it to people because it has no swearing. It has like a general knowledge statement to it. And it has somebody trying to do something different every single day, which is kind of sort of inspirational. That's why that content goes viral. It has nothing to it. It's like why you pull up some of the shorts feed videos and you see like this miniature square model of some dude with a toy tractor. You don't see his face. All you see is the hand pulling the toy tractor over a little sand bridge, and that's got like 12 million views. It's because there's nothing in it that could cause any problems whatsoever. That's the reason why.
Do that. Like, that's the kind of video it is. But regardless, he made a whole bunch of viral videos on his main Instagram
It's catered towards children. All of the content on every single platform is catered towards these goddamn kids. You can't curse in anything. You can't swear. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do something else. You flip your fucking hair wrong, you're suspended. Like, it's always something. It is.
And just decided he was going to get arrested for driving a lawnmower inside of a Target next. It just doesn't make sense to me. Because it just falls into the low-hanging fruit genre of harassing retail workers. Like, gee, that's never been done before. And it sucks because the pay's not great for a retail worker, and the last thing you want to deal with after a long shift of dealing with customers' attitudes is some TikTokers trying to be funny in the loudest, most annoying way. But in his own account highlight, he was talking about being a troubled teen, and he was actually sent to boarding school. So I'm sure his parents are very happy with his behavior. Now, the dude says...
dude, we used to have bum fights on YouTube. What happened to that? Here's the thing that I think's going to happen, is that, like, whether everybody likes it or not, online ID is going to be a thing. It's going to happen. You're going to need online ID, and they're going to have to do major crackdowns on children being on Instagram and Twitter and X and all these social media platforms. It's going to happen. And what you're going to see is this massive shift and probably a huge loss in marketing. It's probably going to be a lot of people that aren't going to make a whole lot of money anymore on content creation platforms. And, that would affect me. But you know what I think? I think it needs to happen anyway. Because whenever you start taking the adults in a society and you start catering to them and not the children, that society is inevitably going to fail way faster than what we're already doing. The minute you start taking adults, you start catering to the adults and not the children and preparing them for the world that we live in as an adult, is the absolute minute that your civilization fails. They don't need to be on the internet the way they are, period. I mean, we got kids now that don't even know what the hell how to spell their name. They can't stand up or walk. Like, they watching Cocomelon and getting fried by the age of 5, dude. Like, what are we doing? Like, just because you pop out a baby don't make you a parent. Whenever you pop out a child and you make sure that your child is ready to take on this world by the time they turn 18 and either stay or move out, you know you've raised your child and you're a parent. Just because you would give birth to a baby don't mean that you're a parent. I'm sorry, that's not how it works. I know that you've probably been told that by a lot of people in your life, but what makes you a parent is how ready your child is for the real world. And let me tell you something, the real world fucking sucks.
He's learned a lot and grew, but I mean, after seeing this, I don't know about that, bud. Like, at the end of the day, any influencer who has to rely on harassing retail workers for content, you're better than this. You shouldn't be doing this whatsoever. But Yannick, on the other hand, he admits in his Instagram bio that he is a failed fitness influencer, and he's already given up on, I guess, anything worthwhile. So now he's pivoted to Yannick Trolls, which is just, as bad of an account as you might expect.
Because WW chat, man.
You essentially had Yannick, who's just being a burden to society while filming everything on Meta glasses. So essentially, he's just blasting music in public to harass people for attention, and he's harassing homeless people. He's driving a lawnmower into Target and using a leaf blower out of Culver's. So essentially, his content is, haha, look at me. I'm bothering people. Wow. Thank you for your service. Like, but he's already updated his profile photo with his mugshot and a pinned post outlining his arrest. So clearly, this is a highlight of his life. But I guess one thing Yannick seems to need for his videos
How's it going,
is
T.
multiple
Shipley?
angles. And this is where Luke comes in. So while you can see Yannick blocks out Luke's face in the arrest post, it sure looks like Luke was the guy who was filming him, both in the Culver's.
Oh, so they locked up both of them. They locked up the camera guy and the guy that was doing the lawnmower
video and in the Target prank.
That's what you
we
get.
actually know for a fact he was filming him at the Target prank because they were both arrested. Because on April 25th, the boys unloaded a rideable lawnmower out of a trailer and attempted to drive it into a Florida Target for Yannick's news.
Oh, they did it in Florida too. Oh man. Oh man, come on.
Video. And here they were shirtless but dressed in overalls and a cowboy hat, and Yannick attempts to, I guess, enter the store, but instead just drives straight into the sliding glass
Let's go,
doors,
Rachel.
shattering one before throwing it into reverse and trying again.
Bro, they shattered the fucking door. Oh. That's destruction of property now. I mean, there it is, huh? Maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe you shouldn't do that, huh?
Again, it just leaves you with the reaction of why? Why are you doing this, guys? So he then drives around in a circle as people rightfully are dragging their kids as far away as they possibly can. I mean, a random person wouldn't just assume that you're pulling a prank. They are probably a little bit more concerned that you are, I don't know, going to try to run someone over the lawnmower. Like, there's so many things about this that is just so wrong. Because again, this is happening in Florida, so it wouldn't be like an unbelievable headline to hear that someone was trying to run people down with a lawnmower. But I guess like most pranks, it's short-lived, probably because they know how bad it was from the start.
I personally feel like with every child that was in that store, they should get charged with a count of child endangerment. Straight up. Every single child that's in that store, they need to do a head count on all the cameras, and they should catch a charge for child endangerment for every count.
And I know, as much as they were laughing, their hearts probably stopped when that door shattered. But I guess after this, they quickly drive the lawnmower back into the trailer before cutting to Yannick getting handcuffed. And they were eventually both arrested, and the police said that Yannick was charged with criminal mischief and disorderly conduct, while Luke was charged as a principal to disorderly conduct for his role in recording the stunt. And they were both released on Sunday, and Yannick seems to be more excited than anything else from the stunt. And he also posted this Culver's video, which he apparently took the night before. And I'm not sure if that's a crime in itself, but it's just annoying. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we should have the basic right here in the US to go out in public and not be harassed by some IRL streamer or a TikTok prankster. Or is that just asking for too much? But this is why I'm making videos like this, because all this is just so insufferable. I don't want this to continue. But I guess in all the posts,
it's going to continue as long as the platforms don't ban them off of the platforms. That's why you've got people like Johnny Somali that goes to these countries and causes problems. He gets himself locked up in South Korea. I mean, as long as the platforms pay you for this, they will continue doing it. Like, that's why they're doing it. You have to advocate for the deplatforming of these degenerates from every platform. Like how is this even a question?
Bragging, Yannick covers Luke's face, probably because, like I said, this doesn't really fit with his brand, and it really makes you wonder what these two have in common.
I guarantee you, if he was able to get away with that and he didn't get arrested by the police, they would have done it again. That's exactly what would have happened. They'd be running lawnmowers into the sides of doors, shattering the doors, and continuing to do this nonsense for as long as they possibly could.
Besides wanting to go viral, hopefully Luke is a little bit more careful with who he collabs with in the future, because obviously he has something going for himself. Why is he a part of this? But Yannick will probably continue with stuff like this because he's obviously bragging about being arrested. But hey, at least he's not facing 5 years in Indian prison like this YouTuber is because he wanted to go disturb an isolated tribe. You can check out that video here, but other than that,
we have a girls-only Valorant tournament. So this is something I talked about yesterday. It's kind of gone viral now. And and obviously the girls-only Valorant tournament. So you have somebody here.
But I thought that people were advocating for equality. What happened? maybe the people getting called these awful, terrible names aren't the awful, terrible names they keep getting called, like Nazi and fascist and all this other stuff. Maybe, perhaps, we're not what they say we are. Maybe we're not the racist ones and the sexist ones.
Surely there's a graphic designer, an artist who would love to contribute to the project. So this is somebody complaining that the art is done by AI. And again, it's a scam. They made the account a few days.
Get used to the fact that AI is about to take 95% of the workforce. Get used to that. Remember, let this sink in. When you get fired from a job because you refuse to train AI that's going to inevitably take your job, they're going to hire somebody. They're going to pay them double what they were paying you to specifically train that AI. And you know what? They're going to get hired, and they're going to do that, and they're going to completely demolish the workforce. And then you not wanting to do it isn't going to solve a damn thing about it. Whether you like it or not, that's going to be how it is.
Days ago, it's not real. Our account was made a few years ago, of course. And so anyway, do they include trans? Well, that is the big question. That's the big one. And the answer to that is no. They do not include trans. So I was wondering if trans women were allowed to participate. This is from Violet, okay? Sorry, but no. May I know why? And so, sorry, cutie, but we don't. The reason is that we are Muslims, and we think that it's not fair to let transgenders play our tournaments. And in my opinion, like, this is what I find to be very funny, is that this is like the obvious, like, crash that a lot of leftists are going to have, where whenever you make your bed with one of the most conservative religious groups in the entire world, you are going to have problems with this. Like, a lot of these Muslims don't have the same, like...
Well, I was going to say, there's a reason why it's called the Strait of Hormuz and not the Gaze of Hormuz. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really don't understand other cultures in the world. Like, you're not going to assimilate with, like, you're not going to import a bunch of people that, like, look here. So the Epstein files are really bad for our country, yeah, but in other countries that really shouldn't be in America, it's their marriage records. Like, I'm sorry, but if you think that you're going to bring somebody from a foreign country that lives in a country where the legal age to marry a person is 5 and you're 35, the likelihood that that person is going to assimilate with American culture and society is very, very slim. Now, I know this may be hard to understand or comprehend, but if you write it on paper and recite it to yourself enough times, then maybe at one point when your brain decides to work and you're done fuming up the air that we all live and breathe in, and you stop killing the ozone layer with the fumes that are coming out of your cognitively dysfunctioning brain, it'll make sense to you. Now, I know. Here in America, we can't kill people because their head wrap isn't on correctly. I know that, you probably want to move here and change that, but that is probably not going to happen. I'm sorry to inform you.
I'll tell you this. If you have a, think about your most racist Republican...
Like, these people that that they're trans or they're gay or they're bi, and they're down there protesting in some of these protests to allow mass immigration or illegals to come in, they don't really realize what that's going to do to the culture around them until they're being kept up until 2 a.m. because these church sirens are blaring a prayer at 2 in the morning. And that's kind of what we want to prevent. We don't want it to get to that point, okay?
That hates gay people and everything else, and you have him sit down, and, the guy's not actually racist, right? But, the Republican that you say, this is the biggest problem ever, and then you take a guy from the Middle East that's a devout Muslim. I bet a lot of those two guys, I bet they're going to have a lot of things in common. I bet they are. And that's something that a lot of people don't talk about, is that inside of those two groups, there are a lot of Venn diagrams. And so anyway, also it's their tournament, it's their rules. Yes, exactly. And Cloud Gaming, the Muslim thing's just a cover. They probably added one Muslim to have an explanation. Well, it doesn't really matter why. I mean, the reality is that, let me scroll down and show you some of these, right? I think this is kind of funny to watch everybody crashing out and getting mad about this.
And the reason why this matters is because if they kill gay people and trans people, and like you don't hear any women in, for example, Iran, really doing much of anything in power. And you don't see a lot of gay people or lesbian or trans because they're all dead. You see, they kill them. That's what they do in other countries whenever you kill 45,000 people, or you kill other groups of people that are in your country that you don't want there. They just kill them, and that's what makes them a third world. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it matters because when you start mass importing those people and they take over a city, like, for example, New York, what do you think they're going to do to the laws there? Well, they're going to make a lot of big fucking problems, okay?
Everything else, because obviously this is a new thing, right? Where basically, and this is the kind of thing that I was talking about, how people, it's not enough for these people to, basically have their own, their own spaces, etc. They want to be involved in women's spaces. They want to invade women's spaces. And then they use everybody else having to cooperate with that as personal validation. They expect to be treated as if they're women. And here's the truth, right? Is that if you're a trans woman, you're not a real woman. You're not. You're biologically not a woman. You don't have the chromosomes. You don't have the biology. You don't have the genitalia. You're not the same thing.
A great example of this is bathrooms. Bathrooms are a great example of this. There's a reason why men's bathrooms have urinals and women's bathrooms do not. Okay.
And anybody who argues differently from that is purely doing it out of it is an ideology. It is not biology, it's not logic, it's not rational. Everything about it is counter to everything. It is, what I am saying is pure science. And so anyway, you don't have the cards. That's right, you don't have the cards. And yes, anyway, destroy the construct of women. That's the goal. Well, maybe. And anyway, what do you mean transphobic? So you're trying to make some Muslim females drop their religious beliefs.
Good idea.
And let anyone
Stay
around
hydrated
them in their
sounds
own
like a
safe
good
space.
idea.
Not respecting their religious boundaries is Islamophobic. Man.
You mean transphobic? So are you trying to make some Muslim female drop their religious beliefs and let anyone around them in their own safe space, not respecting their religious boundaries, is Islamophobic? Yeah, that's. Sorry, but I hate to break it to you, but a bathroom is a safe space. It is, and you're entitled to that safe space. You are.
Man, that is fun.
If you're new here, sub to the channel, hit like on the stream. I'm here every single day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. Every single day, I am here, live. If for whatever reason I'm not live on YouTube, it's because I caught another useless suspension that made no sense. So I will most likely be going live on... Oh, I'm actually live right now on all the other platforms. So, yeah, check out every other platform like Kick, Rumble, Twitch. I will most likely be live the next day. And every day until whatever BS suspension I catch on YouTube is gone. X as well.
Yep, phobic wars. Now we have the phobia wars, okay? We had the racism wars and the sexism wars. Now we have is transphobia big, like higher up on the pyramid than Islamophobia? Now, in my opinion, I think Islamophobia is going to win out because there's way more Muslims than trans people, number one. And number two, the majority of the people that are, I mean, if you look, I just say it, right? I mean, some people wouldn't say this. The rate of people that are trans, it's overwhelmingly Kevin. White people.
Morning,
it is like,
David.
Let me look this up. I just want to prove it to you guys. And in the U.S., okay, in the U.S., what percentage of trans people are white? I would bet 70 to 80%. 56% transgender identify as white. Okay, there we go. 55% white. Okay, that's actually lower than I thought it was going to be. Key context transgender. Some non-white groups and black. Oh wow. Okay, well maybe I might be wrong about this. It seems like it's half. Yeah, that don't count. Well, yeah, but
so wait a minute. So does that mean that if the left wins, that I can identify as a Somali immigrant? And if I identify as a Somali immigrant, they have to honor that and let me take out millions of dollars worth of taxpayer fraud? Hold on, wait a minute. I might be onto something, boys. I might be onto something. Hold on, wait a minute.
the half of the country is white people too. So like I would say that's accurate, right? That's proportional. No, I guess maybe that's not accurate. Well, anyway, because they lie, bro. Yeah, I think that they
not go to jail. Yes, get convicted and not go to jail. That's right.
Might be identifying that way. They identify as white. Yeah, it's hard really for me to say, but should do that per capita as well. Well, they already showed that or talked about it. But either way, what my point is that I do think Islamophobia is higher up on the tier list than this is, right? Than transphobia.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, that means we can identify as a paraplegic and get a fat disability check, bro. And they pay for your rent too. Oh shit, man, you onto something even more, bro.
Phobia is. White's still a strong majority. Did you see Sweden drop the term Islamophobia as a hate term? Yeah, I did see that. So anyway, and this is it here. Thank you so much for reaching out and for your interest in joining future tournaments. For our Game Changers events, we currently limit participation to players who are biologically female, as our goal is to create a space specifically for women in that category. We really appreciate your understanding, and we'd still love to, if you'd be part of the community, if you want to be part of the server. So this is the most reasonable, nice, polite, and everything way. And so this is the problem that I think trans people have, is that it's not enough for you to just simply be able to exist in society. You have to
That's right. You could agree as a millionaire, and if your bank doesn't agree, you could sue them. Or you could go there and throw stuff around, you know, like what they do at the, like what that person did at the GameStop. I mean,
validated by being able to participate in women's events as well. This is a trespass. It is. It is a trespass in women's spaces. And I think in a very general sense, you are asking the entire world to basically participate in this.
It's a delusion. It's a fucking delusion. That's what the fuck it is. It's a delusion. You want the entire world to cater to you because you're fucking delusional. That's what this is. And there are actual predators out there taking advantage of this. That's the sad part about it. There are predators that are out there hurting people, and they are getting away with it because of this. Now, not all of them, okay? There are a lot of people that transition, that just want to transition and do their own thing. But there are also a lot of people out there that want to do this just to hurt people. And we have to make sure that whenever it comes to public restrooms, that everybody's safe. Okay? That's what the goal here is to make sure that everybody is safe. And the thing is there are too many problems with this that can arise that are obviously problematic that make this very unsafe for anybody involved.
Value, right? Now everybody has to see this. Oh, dear God. Yeah, do we have a nasty reply to that? Of course we do. It's classic, give an inch, they want a mile. Yeah, they do. And that's the problem, right? And so anyway, what pisses me off here is the fact that she's being so nice to them, and they're all calling her names. Grown-ass people harassing girls that are 13 to 17, by the way. Well, I don't know about that. And I used to be an ally and respect how they stood up for minorities, but never again after these ill people. The problem
There you go. This is what is going to happen more and more is until the LGBTQ plus A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z community decides that it's going to address these radicals, it's going to get worse. You are going to see a massive shift in same-sex marriage rights. You're going to see a massive shift in how they are treated. And I don't want to see that because there are a lot of people that do that kind of stuff. And they keep it to their bedroom, and I completely respect that, and I love that they do that. But it's the same thing with religion. If all you do is allow these radicals to define your religion or your community, by not exiling them, by not disowning them, you're going to be defined by them. And that's the problem. And I want to make that very clear. Like, there are a lot of trans people. There are a lot of, of people that are part of the LGB, whatever, like the whole lineup, the ABC alphabet thing, that are good people, and they just want to do their thing in private. And it's going to affect them more than it's going to affect the person that's in a GameStop throwing stuff around and saying that because you misgendered me, I have the right to do this. You know what I'm saying?
That, again, it's these purity tests, right? I can't tell you how much as a woman this whole thing enrages me. It's so fucking dumb. Well, of course it is, and I think there's a lot of people that feel that way. Respectfully, I'm not convinced that wanting to have a tournament with only cis women is inherently transphobic. Well, here's the reason why it's transphobic.
I ran over
I'm going to explain it. It's very simple. It's
clever.
because they think that they're women. So at any point, whenever you draw a distinction between a trans woman and a biological woman, that distinction fundamentally
That's
to
right.
them is
Alphabet soup just ends up being O's.
That's the reason why it happens. Like, I don't even know why. Like, I mean, maybe we're asking this question and pretending to be retarded.
The trans community isn't the problem. The LGB community isn't the problem. It's the radicals. It's the people that are doing this to be the center of attention that are the problem. That's the problem.
Right? But, like, that's clearly why. And not cis women. Yeah, exactly. You're only an ally until they decide you're not. And I'm big on inclusivity, and the trans community already is set, has the rest of GC to participate in. Why does it matter if a small tournament doesn't wish to include them? It's actually very simple why. It's extremely simple why.
It's because they're trying to find any excuse they can to cause a problem. That's why.
It's because if the tournament doesn't include them, then they're not real women. That's the reason why. That's exactly it. That's the main purpose. That's why they want to be part of the tournament. That's the whole thing. And so, yeah, it's literally that.
I can see a day and age where they have trans tournaments. Like, instead of doing that, why don't you have, like, a man, woman, trans? And I know that it's so fucking annoying to do that. I know, I get it. But we already have family restrooms in a lot of places, and you could transform the family restrooms, get it, transform, into like a trans restroom or trans/family restroom just by changing the sign, If that's really how they feel, then they won't mind being the third party. But I don't think that we should make a whole nother fucking bathroom for the radicals. I just don't. I'm sorry, because that's what this is. They have been allowed to sit here and bully everybody around in every single safe space around the country, and they won't stop until you contain it. Whether that be by putting some of these people that are in a GameStop throwing stuff around and destroying property because they got misgendered into a mental asylum, or by putting them in jail. But either way, you have to force this to stop. Just because somebody misgenders you doesn't give you the right to try and burn down their store. I
mean, I don't know why. Like, I mean, the problem is, like, I mean, you should be able to understand what these people's point of view is, right? And why don't they just lie? Because it's pretty obvious. Game Challengers, the pro scene for women in Valorant. Well, trans women shouldn't be competing in biological women's tournaments, right? I mean, it's just because men and women obviously are different. They're different with everything, like eye-hand coordination, reaction time, etc. is different. That's why you see, and I saw somebody making a post about this, and I actually even responded to it. I don't make a lot of tweets, but I do every once in a while. And so this is somebody saying, biological girls only in a Valorant tournament. The whole reason I love competing in esports rather than actual sports is because there are no biological advantage and disadvantages to playing video games. So I don't understand the reasoning behind excluding trans women in this. Well, obviously at the highest levels of competitive play, men are better. Only a retard would look at something that happens 100 out of 100 times and come to the conclusion that there's no correlation.
Exactly. Why do you think that so, like, this already happened. This whole, well, if they're trans, they're never going to do the thing in order to win a tournament. I reacted to, oh, man, fuck. Eddie Hall, the Beast, one of the strong men of the world, right? He had to retract an award ceremony because a trans weightlifter won the world record in the women's division. And they found out that it was a dude, and like the women that were there that were going to retire regardless, like the disappointment you can see on their face by having this random person come in and completely decimate miles above their abilities in every single division and win a trophy that they worked and busted their asses for years to get. You could see it on their faces how disappointed they were, how like that, like it's not a matter of them losing, it's a matter of how much they lost by. Like if you've been busting your ass for years, you've been eating correctly, you've been sticking to your diet, and you're in your category, as in the women's category, you are dominating across every single platform, just to have a dude come in and lift 300 or 400 pounds more than you could ever imagine. It's not just disappointing, it's decimating to your reality. And then come to find out that that person was trans. It's disgusting. It's awful. It's not right. And you can't even remotely sit here and say that it's okay for this to happen. Like how many women athletes are there in the world, and how many men athletes there are in the world? Like as far as like, let's say Olympic gold medals, right? We're going like the best of the best. Like an Olympic male runner will probably outcompete a woman male runner every single time. Now I'm not 100% sure, but like, because the women are usually smaller and faster, but if you have the right like muscle capacity, you can outrun any woman, you know, like it's just how it is. Same thing with weightlifting. Like, okay, fine. Here's a better example. If there are faster women in the running section, then in the weightlifting section, men are naturally stronger than women. They're going to be able to lift a few hundred pounds more than what a woman can on an average across every single thing. Now, you're going to have some women that are going to be a little bit stronger, sure, but they're going to be the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. It's not an average. And when you start trying to sit here and throw the facts in the garbage, well, that's where you have to draw a line. You have to, because it's wrong. And you can't say, well, this will never happen. Men aren't going to compete in women's sports. You know, they're never, it happened. It's happened. It already is happening. They're doing it because they can't win in the men's division. Even during the Olympics, there was one guy that was ousted for being trans.
Biology is real, even if you pretend it's not. Too bad, huh? And I started watching your stream. Yeah, exactly, right? And so different brands, genitals, bone mass, etc. They want us to acknowledge they're trans, but then when we call them trans, they call transphobe. Well, they want to be they don't want to be acknowledged as trans. They only want to be acknowledged as a woman, right? That's really what the goal is. I think that's generally what it is. And so who is the base poster? Yeah, I mean, that's really it. I mean, there's a reason why, for example,
how's
like
it going,
even in
Danielle?
chess, there are different grandmaster levels. Like a woman grandmaster, like, let me see if I could find this.
It doesn't even have to be common sense. Science says it. The data between men and women athletes says it. The DNA says it. Just because you want to pad and fairy tale the rest of the world does not mean that people have to abide by it.
Let me see if I can pull this up, bro. Like, this kid? Oh my god. What is this bullshit? Here we go.
Still higher than you.
Who cares? I'm much younger.
And so this kid, like, yeah, but you're a woman grandmaster implant. You have, it's not that women have a ceiling, it's that the probability of the stars aligning to where women are going to be this good and be this much of a genetic anomaly to be this good at something.
It's the 1% of the 1%. Like, no, it does happen. Okay, it happens, sure. But like, to sit here and try to use the average as the 1% of the 1%, or like the 1% of the 1% as the average, is dishonest to everybody involved. It is. It's dishonest.
Is extremely, extremely low. That's why all the tallest people are men, all the strongest people are men, etc. Now, it doesn't mean that there aren't strong women. Of course there are. Or tall women. Of course there are. But at the same time, whenever you go into the extremes, right? Judith Polgar, and realize how retarded your take is. So this is a person, so you're arguing with me because you can come up with one example.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that there will be a woman that will be born that will have the capabilities of lifting 2,000 pounds. I don't doubt it for a second. But that's not the average. That's the problem, is that you're trying to take the 1% of the 1% as the average. I think we've pretty much covered... Oh, wow, he talks to this person for a while. Yeah, like, I think that's pretty much all I really wanted to say about this. Let's move on from this. It's just a straight-up dishonesty of everything that really kind of... So this is Twitch now, guys. This is what they show on Twitch now.
Off on a tangent. Oh, is this Morgue Pie?
1 sec. Place.
Does it do that? Oh my...
This is what we do on Twitch now, apparently. Yep. Yep, this is a thing.
Oh my god. Jesus, guys. Wow. Okay, well, anyway, I guess that's what they're doing.
Yep, this is a thing. And here's the sad part. She did it again with 2 people.
On Twitch now.
All right. All right, come, Bill Clinton.
Oh.
Come, Bill Clinton.
It must be the other one.
Shake. Spin.
This is what they do on Twitch now, guys, to get views.
Stream together or whatever.
Wait, hold on. I need to cut you off because I just saw someone in chat say that she's racist towards white men.
Uh-huh.
And
Who
I'm
is this?
so sorry, but respectfully, shut up. Shut the fuck up, dude.
I don't even know what this
Act
is.
like white guys are inferior. They are.
Uh-huh. It is crazy people would say that. It is. That's nuts.
And you know what's even crazier? If a white dude had said that about any other race or ethnicity or religion or a gender, instantaneously permabanned off of every platform ever known and completely life ruined.
Jesus
Not racism.
Christ.
I hate to break it to you.
It's absolutely racism. I'll be curious to see if people like this end up getting banned or not.
Here's what you need to think of whenever you say a statement. Does it involve color or an ethnic group? If the answer to that is yes, it's probably racist. That's Morgue Pie, by the way. That's her name. Okay, y'all know what time it is.
Fox News alert, astonishing testimony from a Minnesota whistleblower this week. Listen to Jay Swanson.
Another whistleblower? Hold on, wait. You know what? Hold on, wait. Let me use the bathroom before I start. Give me a second. Okay. Sorry about that. Right, let's get it.
Fox News alert, astonishing testimony from a Minnesota whistleblower this week. Listen to Jay Swanson, former manager of the Minnesota DHS Child Care Provider Investigations Unit, testifying before a Minnesota House committee about the warning signs he saw all the way back in 2017.
There have been how many? Let me hold on. Wait, let me get the Google search machine. How many whistleblowers have come forward against Tim Walz in Minneapolis? Oh my God. As of early 2026, reports indicate that over 400 to 480 current and former Minnesota Department of Human Services, DHS, big surprise they're trying to defund the DHS. I mean, who would have thought? Employees have accused Governor Tim Walz and his administration of ignoring warnings about massive multi-billion-dollar fraud and retaliating against those who report it. Huh. That's interesting.
As I look back with the benefit of 2020 hindsight, I realized that what our team saw was the early stages of a somewhat loosely organized criminal enterprise beginning to pillage Minnesota's public benefit system. I was shown a text conversation between the owner of the center and a friend. The friend had asked the owner, "How much longer are you going to do the daycare scam?" The owner replied, "Another year or two. I'm going to buy some nice homes in Nairobi." The owner was on public assistance at this time.
Don't you just fucking love it? Don't you just fucking love it, boys? Doesn't that just make you all warm and tingly inside? Doesn't that just make you want to blow your fucking stack?
Another year or two. I'm going to buy some. Friend had asked the owner, "How much longer of the center?" And a friend. The friend had asked the owner, "How much longer are you going to do the daycare scam?" The owner replied, "Another year or two. I'm going to buy some nice homes in Nairobi."
Don't even have the balls enough to buy homes here in America, bro. Don't you just fucking love it?
The owner was on public assistance at this time.
And what did our government do about it?
I would say by mid-2017, the administration and the leadership at DHS, there was no focus on stopping CCAP fraud. The focus was on stopping the people that are investigating CCAP fraud.
Don't you just love it? Sounds just like them trying to pass that LA Stop Nick Shirley Act. Don't you just love it?
The investigators were the target, and then came Governor Tim Walz. He took office in January of 2019, and this week, amid the widespread fraud raids we told you about by Trump's FBI, he swore to us, if you commit fraud in Minnesota, you're going to get caught. And that's exactly what we saw today. We catch criminals when state and federal agents...
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You didn't do a damn thing, Tim. You're trying to say that you were the one that got these fraudsters. No, you didn't. If it had not been for Nick Shirley, and it had not been for the the FBI, the Federal Investigation Bureau, Federal Bureau of Investigation, your ass wouldn't have done a damn thing. In fact, you've done quite the opposite. You need to go to jail. You have done nothing but push back against the FBI and the United States government since day one. Whenever J.D. Vance had to march his ass down there and straighten up your damn city, your cities, your state, and address the media the way he did, he got more solved in one day than you did the entire time you allowed those people to sit there and burn your state to the ground.
Share
you need to go to jail, Tim Walz.
Joint investigations work, and securing justice depends on it. Except we had the Attorney General.
Oh, is Duke in the chat? W. Duke Nukem.
In court. He's not helping. He is suing the Trump administration in court. And this is what he said 4 months ago.
Love it.
You mentioned this fraud investigation and the reason that they're here. Is there anything you think, when you look back, you could have done differently to prevent them from showing up and doing what they're doing here?
Anything. No. Anything differently. Nothing. You couldn't have done anything?
No, they were coming anyway. It was all make-believe that we'd been at it. Every state had this.
On this very program, a separate Minnesota whistleblower, Faye Bernstein, contested his assertion. You said, I have only voted for Democrats. I consider myself a Democrat. This is definitely not something that Republicans are making up. This is real.
In Minneapolis, people did die. 2 people were shot. Yes, they were both shot. I feel like Alex Peretti and Renee Good should be on Tim Walls's he should be charged for their deaths. Because him not acknowledging that the ICE agents, the federal ICE agents, because that's what they are, they're federal, the fact that he wouldn't acknowledge them as actual police is what led to people getting killed. And the lack, Alex Peretti would be alive if he had been in jail for kicking the taillight off of a federal vehicle with a handgun in his back pocket. It's a felony to do that, by the way. So, anything that you do that's a misdemeanor automatically gets pumped to a felony whenever you have a firearm on you.
Just a few moments, but
if he had been in jail, he'd be alive.
Governor Walz.
But he couldn't be put in jail because the local police were being told by Walz that the ICE agents weren't actual police, or they were firing people or keeping people from being able, law enforcement for being able to help out the ICE agents. Up until J.D. Vance went there and changed it.
Believe.
Oh, it's not make-believe. That's craziness. It's not make-believe. I see this every day. I still go to work every day and I see this, and it is not make-believe.
The lingering question is, why did Governor Tim Walz not take action? This August 24th, 2018 whistleblower report I'm holding, you can see it, is authored by Jim Swanson, who you just heard from. It's jam-packed with warnings about rampant fraud in the childcare industry. Swanson warned, quote, investigators believe that current internal controls and statutes are not stringent enough to make reasonable progress in reducing the level of fraud in this program. So what did Walz do? He waited for David Hoke and a 23-year-old journalist named Nick Shirley to expose the fraudulent system before finally proposing a 2026 legislative package. Woefully insufficient.
The fuck? Stop swearing, little man. It sounds stupid. Also, hold on, wait. Channel activity. Do you know what an AMF really is? Childish or sophisticated? Choose the high road. I'm gonna fucking talk however the fuck I want to talk because I grew up around it. It's part of my culture. Part of what I am. I'm a 31-year-old man. I'll talk however I want. Who are you, a Karen? You a Karen? You think the internet should just conform to whatever the fuck you say? Fuck you. No one cares about what you think. You're a weirdo. You're in somebody's chat thinking that whatever you say is gonna matter to anybody. Nobody cares about what you think. I'll prove it. Here. I'll prove it to you. I'll let chat decide if you're gonna get banned or not. There you go. Chat gonna be eating hearty here soon. We into politics now. Oh, how's it going, Danielle? It's the Beast Man, Beast Shaman. Let's go, Beast Shaman. Infamous. That's right, the true democratic way. That's what we do here. If you're new here, sub to the channel, hit like on the stream. We're here every day. I know that motherfucker ain't up in my motherfucking chat saying this kind of shit. Hold on. Well, I'm going to report you for this, because we all know what that means. And we're going to go ahead and get rid of... Where's that other guy at? He's cooked. In Polk. Oh, yeah, we here every day. I'm here please sub to the channel, hit like on the stream. I'm here every single day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. If I'm not here, I'm always going live on other platforms as well, like Kick, Twitch, TikTok, not TikTok, X, Rumble. I think I said Kick already. Go to the YouTube page, check out on the YouTube page, check the description of the channel. There you can find all the links to everything and updates if I catch another suspension on YouTube, by the way. Check out the Discord. I also leave updates there. Check the post tab for in case something happens. I'll usually update everybody and let everybody know what's going on from there. Where did this guy go? Jamie, where'd you go? You're cooked, man. That's it for you. Where's Jamie? There he is. Go tell somebody else what to do. Go live your life, man. Stop trying to control everybody on the internet, or Karen, or whatever your name is.
Let's bring in Minnesota State Representative Kristen Robbins, who's been on it. She is chair of the state's Fraud Prevention Committee. When I look at this whistleblower report, I couldn't stop reading it. This is the one that
You shouldn't be bringing a firearm to a protest anyway. I'm sorry, but if you can't bring a firearm to a school or a hospital, they should also make it exemption or make it illegal to bring a firearm to a protest as well. There's no reason for you to have a firearm at a protest. If the police officers need to split it up, the last thing they need is somebody firing actual bullets in from the crowd at the police.
To read the most, and I'm going to pull it up here. It's from page 55 of the report. Records clearly show that some owners and individuals have made large wire transfers to banks primarily in the Middle East or Africa, often soon after they receive these payments. It is a near certainty, this was written in 2018, that at least a percentage of the fraud proceeds go overseas and are being siphoned off by one or more designated terrorist organization. So your Democratic governance knew in 2018 money was being sent to terrorists and they shut down this unit? Why?
It is unconscionable. So that report came out in March or April of 2019, early in the Walz administration. He had just taken office. And instead of diving in...
I agree with you, Mosh. I agree with you. I feel like if I'm a good standing citizen and I take a concealed carry course, I should be able to conceal carry anywhere I damn well please. I agree with you. But the fact of the matter is that that's not the case. And I will use that leverage to push my narrative to make sure that somebody like Alex Peretti doesn't lose their life again because they're brainwashed into kicking people's fucking cars with the firearm. I will use that to my advantage. I will. Until they decide, it's the same thing with until they decide to make it legal to do that in other places, your right to carry it could still be impeded upon even by basic stores with a 30-06 or a 30-07. So unless you plan on disregarding the 30-06 and 7 school grounds and hospitals, you can do the same thing for protests. Anything you do with a firearm on you, whether it would be kicking the taillight off of a vehicle, trying to rob a store, assaulting somebody, it immediately gets bumped to a felony simply by having a firearm on you.
And getting to the bottom of it, they closed down the investigative unit that Jay Swanson ran and barred our state criminal investigators from talking to their counterparts at the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension without supervisor approval. So they did not want any more criminal prosecutions.
I agree with that. Don't that, and I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Don't go and instigate stuff at a protest if you have a firearm. I do. I agree with that. I like that statement. But the fact of the matter is that they brainwashed this man who lost his job months ago, whose parents even said that he had gotten wrapped up in the wrong crowd, who still had the ability to carry. was over there causing these problems. And they brainwashed him to do this on purpose so that way he would be killed for their political goals. That's the issue. That's the big problem with this whole thing.
Fraudsters. And it all morphed into this bureaucratic overpayment examination. Nobody had a criminal deterrent anymore.
No, once they start blocking the roadways, it's no longer a protest, it's a riot. When you break the law during a protest, you immediately leave the realm of protesting or peaceably assembling and you're rioting. When you obstruct the flow of traffic, that's illegal. When you throw things at police officers, that's illegal. You are no longer protesting, you're rioting. When you kick the taillight off of vehicles or you destroy public or private property, when you burn things to the ground, that is not protesting, that is rioting. Whenever you break into a car and steal classified documents, that is protesting. I mean, yeah, that's rioting. That is not protesting, that's rioting.
They enabled this. They turned a blind eye, and actually I think they enabled it. And it's unconscionable, and I'm so thankful for the whistleblowers like Faye and Jay who have stepped up to enlighten us on this.
For sure. A lot of courage there. I pointed out last week, Governor Newsom was given a map several years ago of where these places existed, and there were hospice facilities and
protesting. You should need a permit, in my opinion. Like, you can get a permit to block off roadways by getting involved with the police. There are legal ways to protest. You can block off intersections. You can block off. Parades do it all the time. You can do that. You can organize and put together a methodically thought out good protest where everybody sings and they have Trump floats and, you know, they have them shitting and stuff. I don't know. You can do this. Stop breaking the goddamn law. There are things in place that will allow you to do this legally. You don't have to break the damn law.
Here in this case, I would argue that you also had Tim Walz given a map. Let's pull it up. 2015, 35 of 50 child care facilities were flagged. 2016, 41 of 50. These are the highest paid facilities. 2017, 42 of the 50 flagged. So specific hospice facilities receiving more than $1 million each were flagged. He did not go.
Looting is looting. It's not rioting. I hate to break it to you, but if you break into a public or a private building and you steal shit, that's rioting. Let me guess. Are you going to say that it's not robbery either? I guess breaking into your local Circle K isn't robbery, huh? Where the hell did you come from? That's called vandalism, not rioting. When you've got a massive group of people that assembled, that started from protesting, and then they immediately start burning Teslas into the fucking pavement, and they start breaking into buildings and stealing shit, that's called rioting. I don't know what fucking planet you were born on, guy, but I don't think you know the difference. Looting? The fuck? Looting? Like, are you even serious, right? Are you trying to come up with this weird mental gymnastic to make stealing and theft and robbery okay? Are you fucking kidding me? This kid doesn't even know what a riot... This dumb motherfucker right here doesn't even know what fucking robbery is. Doesn't even know what a riot is. What the fuck? Yeah, he must have got lost looking for a song stream. I think you're right, T. Shipley. I think you're right. Bro got lost. You sure you want to be here? You sure you want to be here? What are we gonna do with this fucking guy, man? He a cockroach. He already roached out on us. He's not saying anything now. I mean, if you're gonna say some dumb shit, the least you can do is own that shit. Oh, fuck. Whoops. Like, what? Let's go, David. Oh, Slipknot's in the house? That's right, he getting deported, man. He's getting yeeted and deleted. He's getting sent to the Shadow Realm. We definitely getting sent to the shadow realm with 87%, dude. You cooked, man. I don't know what the hell you were thinking coming up in here, bro. You just got massacred. Looting is looting. That is crazy. Bro couldn't even say robbing is robbing and theft is theft. He had to go with the gaming term. You can tell this dude ain't never been outside. Man, what a simpleton. Jesus, man. Yo, 86%? Bro, you cooked. You cooked. See you, loser. Man, oh man.
Why? What is the reason? Is this just trying to get voters, the Somali community? What was his reason?
I really think it's protecting their base. I absolutely think they were afraid to stand up to the fraudsters in the Somali community who were committing this. And meanwhile, some of our whistleblowers are from the Somali community. So this isn't everyone in the community. Some people want to clean it up. But the political machine that drives votes to the Democrat Party, they didn't want to stand up to it. But I just want to correct.
I have no idea, bro. I don't even know if there's a way to look at that on YouTube. I don't really care. A lot of these guys are just propaganda pushing bots, in my opinion. I don't really care. I just know that I don't want to deal with people that are just being dumb. It's just annoying. Oh, how could you ban somebody on your chat? Do you really want to sit there and have chat deal with somebody and have the person doing the content deal with somebody that's just going to sit there and say stupid shit to try and, like, discredit everything they're saying? Hell no, dude, that shit's annoying. That's just annoying, man.
We did a hearing on this in February 25th.
If I got to ban 1 million people because they're being dumb, then that's 1 million people I ain't got to worry about. That's exactly how I see it, too. I don't do ban appeals. I'll hear out an argument. And I haven't banned some people that have given, like, good stuff. Okay? My goal isn't to ban people that are here to have a counter argument. My goal is to ban people and make fun of people that just want to get into comment sections and bully people around thinking that they have to do whatever they say. Hell no, man. That's my goal.
And we gave them a list of 72 child care centers, many of the ones that Nick Shirley visited. So this is, not only did they do nothing when Wells took over and came into office, but it has continued to happen, and they've done nothing despite...
Yeah, no, like, any person, and I want to make this very clear for people that are trying to defend Alex Peretti. Any person that owns a firearm, I wouldn't bring a gun to a protest. Because there's going to be a lot of people pushing and shoving. There's going to be a lot of people around. What if they steal your gun, if it's in the holster? What if they see it in your back and someone touches you and it goes off? Like, at what point... Like, I took the test to conceal and open carry in Texas prior to Texas's newer-ish laws that allow us to do open and conceal carry wherever the hell we want, other than places that have 30-06s and 7s and hospitals and the schools, right? So, what blows my mind is any person that knows how to handle a firearm and knows what they should and shouldn't do with a firearm is never going to take that shit to a protest. Period. You're not going to do that.
Them 72 a year ago, the Nick Shirley video. Thankfully, our federal partners are the ones who are taking action. So without the work of the federal partners, none of this would all still be going on.
Yeah, it would be. I also want to ask you about a separate matter. This is Ilhan Omar.
Alex Peretti kicked the taillight off of a federal vehicle with a gun in his back pocket, which, by the way, if he didn't have a gun, it would just be a misdemeanor, but because he had a firearm, it jumped it to a felony. And that happened 3 days prior to him being shot and killed by a bunch of ICE agents. He absolutely should have been in jail, but they didn't because the local police weren't enforcing any of the laws to help out the ICE agents.
Have subpoenaed Ilhan Omar. You want some documents. You asked her to come before Congress. She didn't show. So then you subpoenaed these documents because she was a proponent of the Meals Act, which we believe enabled a lot of this fraud. So you have a ton of questions for her, rightfully so.
Yeah, he also impeded federal investigations as well, like ICE's federal agency.
You have a deadline next Tuesday to get the documents. Have you heard from her?
We've not heard anything. So we actually haven't issued a subpoena because we just requested the documents, but we will take further action on Tuesday if we don't hear from her.
Okay, so it was a documents request then. So Tuesday.
I found new reasons never to leave Texas. Two of those reasons is because I could own an RPG, which I'm going to do one day. And another reason is because I can also own a tank. And if I get my RPG thing first, I'll be able to have a tank that shoots. That's my goal in life. I want to use my YouTube millions eventually to hopefully get a tank in an RPG. That's my goal. And whenever that day comes, boys, we're going to do one hell of a stream.
If you don't receive those documents, when will the subpoena come?
You know, we are making steps to prepare for a subpoena or another effort to reach out to her. I'd say stay tuned on Tuesday.
Stay tuned on Tuesday. Well, we will stay tuned. State Representative Kristen Robbins, thank you.
Be sure to like and
You know
subscribe.
why you give up your defense for somebody else's safety? Because if you go into a school, or you go into a hospital, or you go into some place that has a 30-06 or 7, you're breaking the law. That's why you do it. Because it's illegal if you don't. Whether you like it or not, by walking into a hospital or a school, or even having a gun in your car on school property is illegal. It's breaking the law. I actually think it's illegal in all 50 states, isn't it, to bring a gun onto a school campus? At least I thought it was.
And we still have Chairman Comer. We're so lucky to still have him as we're watching the president ascend the stairs there. Chairman Comer, I'm sure that you were listening to that little impromptu discussion with reporters there in Florida with the president. He said a couple things, of course, that were of note, but he also brought in a Republican, saying that there could be a couple of Republicans that might be standing in the way of this effort, possibly hurting negotiations. What do you make of that?
Yeah, you can dislike the law all you want, but unless you're going to rally together like political people and vote on it to either take away or add more laws to the firearms laws in the individual states or at a federal level, like, you still have to abide by the law. Just because you think it's stupid doesn't mean that you can just do whatever you want. I'm sorry, that's a great way to end up in jail.
Well, I think everyone knows that keeps up with things that there are a couple of Republicans. They may or may not be from the state where I'm actually sitting in this chair right now, but they're always critical of the president. It doesn't matter whether it's foreign policy or domestic policy.
And that's what I said. This is exactly what I said whenever Renee Good was getting pulled over and when Alex Peretti was being arrested. If you feel like you're being unlawfully detained and you've got 5 different people with guns pointed at you telling you to get the fuck out of a vehicle, even if they're a gang member, what should you be doing? You should be getting the fuck out of the vehicle. You should be complying. Everything that Alex Peretti did, he didn't comply with the police. He was sitting there fighting the police, the federal agents, the police officers that were there, and he ended up ultimately losing his life because of it. It sucks that, I do kind of feel like the officer that shot him probably should face some amount of time for it, but at the end of the day, he didn't. And it was because a bunch of investigators had found him not guilty on whatever was being charged. And that's their decision to make. I'm not an expert lawmaker. I don't make decisions like that. I'm not a judge, though I'm going to question what judges do sometimes. But that's his own problem. Maybe he shouldn't have been at a protest resisting police and doing violent acts with a handgun. Like, maybe don't do that. And there should be a law that prohibits firearms in protests. There should be. There absolutely needs to be laws there. I mean, if they exist for schools, then they need to exist for protests.
It's important to note with respect to Iran, every president in both parties for the last 2 decades has been critical of Iran and said something needs to be done. This is the first president that had the guts to do it, and it's not going to be hard, but I think he's doing what unfortunately has to be done, and hopefully we'll get it over with very soon.
Chairman, on that topic, I mean, you're essentially talking about Rand Paul and Thomas Massie, and that's fine. They hold the lane and they're consistent if they're nothing else. It's not to beat up on them. But there was
Well, you know what's even crazier is that they took away her kids. The kids were taken away from her and given to her parents. And they tried to act like, she was going to pick up her kids. It's insane to me how they try to spin the narrative, and then when the full story comes out, they just don't want to acknowledge it at all. It is. It's insane.
The hearings with Secretary Hegseth, where I believe it was a congressman from my state, I don't remember exactly who, said, listen, we're going to need Democrats to vote with us on this to get the funding through. And so they're coming back. They need money. How do you get enough folks on board to get the funding through? I mean, ultimately, you have a war.
Exactly. If you're armed, you are held to a higher standard than every other person there. If you have a gun, even if you've been disarmed, bro, you need to stop fucking resisting arrest because they don't know if you have another firearm. They don't know if you have another weapon. All they know is they just got a gun off of you and you're sitting here still resisting arrest. That's all they know. Like, you are held to a higher standard if you are concealed or open carrying in any situation. You can't just draw that firearm or use that firearm for any fucking reason you please, because you're going to end up into not only a lot of trouble, but depending on who you shoot at, you might end up dead. Like,
you use the stockpile you have, you got to pay almost immediately.
It's no different than if you go to the hospital and you hear the talk, the talk of someone shoving a toy soldier up their ass. You're expected to be an adult and be like, all right, what do we have to do to get it out? Okay? Like, that's how it is.
You're vulnerable.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think the president's going to have to work hard to try to get some Democrats. And I think he needs to look at the Democrats that have always been, so supportive of any efforts to send a blank check to Ukraine. It's hard for me to believe that Democrats would be so vocal in supporting Ukraine, but then opposed to doing anything to combat Iran from having a nuclear
damn,
weapon.
son! Woo! Is that a shotgun? Holy fuck, I'm jealous, man. Bro's ready for World War IV.
So hopefully the president can sit down and his cabinet can sit down with some level-headed Democrats and get an agreement. We have to support our troops. We have to finish the job, and I'm confident he can do that.
Chairman Comer, what about the issue of a friendly block?
Bro, I love these boxes, by the way. These boxes that come with like the guns, like this. Like, I got one with my SIG. The boxes are so good. I love like carving out the individual, like, I don't even know what the hell that stuff's called. That, like, I don't know what it's called, man. The foam, and, like, making my own little slots in it, too. I love doing that. That's what I did to mine.
That the president just said. I was kind of hoping it would become an unfriendly blockade and get all the oil out of there. I mean, but he also said he's getting plenty of oil right now, which is really great to hear. And I liked his point that really he's not getting enough support, which you just spoke to. But what about getting that blockade to really get the oil out?
Well, I fear if it were an unfriendly blockade, that would require boots on the ground. So I hope that it remains a friendly blockade. Boots on the ground is dangerous and it's expensive. So that's when I think the support in Congress starts to get a little shaky. Right now, we support the notion that Iran does not need a nuclear weapon, and hopefully this will remain friendly, and hopefully we can get the energy commerce going again in that part of the world.
Chairman.
How so? Nobody is challenging our
If the conflict in Iran does end up getting hot again, are you and are your Republican colleagues worried about any political collateral as we head into the midterms this November?
Well, we're always worried about the well-being of our troops. We're worried about the price tag.
I think that if Trump doesn't solve this by the midterms, Trump is going to lose the House and they're going to end up pulling out. This should already be over. Like, they pretty much got this country on its knees. Like, why are they wasting their time with this shit? They're just wasting so much time on this now.
Of this. None of us want to continue to spend money on endless wars and things like that. But at the end of the day, I think that the key is negotiations. I think the president has been doing that in good faith.
How's it going, Fox
Iran
Crusader?
Has a history
How you
of
doing?
keeping their word on anything. So this is a very tricky subject. This is a very difficult international negotiation. But hopefully the president's got the right team in place. And as long as things are going like they are, I think the support will be there. We will need some Democrat support to continue the funding to finish the deal. But I think the president, again, is going to not only have to sit down with Democrats, but Republicans as well and say, this is the plan. And hopefully the members of Congress that he talks to, that he negotiates with, will keep that plan to themselves and not run to the media to where the people in Iran hiding in a bunker can see what the plan is. That's, so many challenges and perils that the president faces, but I applaud him for having the courage to do this, and let's hope and pray that he's successful.
Chairman,
I don't know if I can get behind a flamethrower because that's just a horrible way to go. But RPGs, I mean, shit.
Always full of hope and prayer. And I support, I know the Secretary of War very well. And I know
How's it going, Mark and Earls?
He cares about this country. And I feel that the president has the same stuff in mind. With that being said, I understand that you guys get a chance to talk offline from time to time. You have an opportunity to tell the president what your concerns are politically or even domestically. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like the president has made the case, not just for the war, but for whatever the end?
I thought that they classified flamethrowers as a oh man, what's it called?
State should be
a war crime. I thought that fire was a war crime.
You feel like you can bring that to voters, or that you can vote your conscience when it comes to spending or War Powers Act, things like that.
Flamethrowers.
I think he made the case in the beginning. I think as this lingers on, he's going to have to come back and continue to build on that case, because this has already lasted longer than what we had hoped it would last.
Sure.
There was support initially for what he did, but as this lingers on and as the price tag continues to increase, the president and Hedgepeth are going to have to come back and continue.
They're banned.
To make the case
They're not banned. They're under strict regulation.
Thank you so much for joining
Protocol
us tonight.
3. If anybody knows what the hell that is, because I don't.
Thank you.
Joey, always good to have the chairman there. We do a lot of these interviews, and we've done them since, of course, the start of this war or excursion, however you want to look at it. And it's interesting to see the change in tone from some of the Republicans that were very gung-ho initially. But as the weeks go on, you can tell that their support, or at least their vocal support, is tapering a little bit. What do you make of that?
I think it's honest. I do. I think it's honest. I think it's truly where they are. I think you saw in the chairman's reaction there, and I wasn't trying to put him on the spot necessarily, but I mean, what he essentially said was 4 weeks ago, I felt a little bit differently. Now, I want to know that there's an end in sight. I mean, Secretary Hegseth said in his hearings, I fought that 20-year war. We don't want to be involved in endless war. And I know that we're only 60 days into it, but we live in a 24-hour news cycle. Everything feels like it lasts forever. And I think that they feel that pressure the same.
Well, Kaylee, I think not just the news cycle, but just the gas prices. It is a bit shocking when you go to fill up your gas tank.
No, it ain't. Bush's gas prices were almost $6 a gallon. It's not even that bad yet.
Not once or twice, but 3 attempts now on President Trump's life.
Apparently, there was another attempt. Some guy went down to Mar-a-Lago, I think the day after that guy tried to run through the hotel lobby, and physically got into a physical altercation with one of the guards down at Mar-a-Lago, and they arrested his ass.
This time by a radicalized teacher of all people. A person
I'm not surprised. Teachers have been marching students out of classrooms like for months now, and they haven't done anything about it. Well, what did you think would happen? If you don't crack down on them from doing this, there's going to be more of this. There is.
Responsible for educating your children. We wonder how we got here. But what do we expect when this is who is influencing the next generation? We send our kids off to school where they're taught by would-be assassins. When they come home and turn on the TV or scroll online to talking heads joking about the First Lady becoming a widow, it's sick and it perpetuates violence. But make no mistake, these are not just attacks on the president.
Yeah, I reacted to the golf course guy as well. Wasn't it like he like got onto the golf course and tried to get to Trump or whatever or something like that? I saw that as well. Not to mention the Iranian assassin that allegedly was sent from Iran. So
United States.
I don't know how true that is, but it's alleged.
80 million people who voted for him. If something's not done soon, someone will get hurt. That's why the Justice Department intends to prosecute the suspect to the fullest extent of the law. I sat down with U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C.
Let's do like maybe 5 and 6 alleged from Iran. Let's do that.
Janine Pirro to discuss the administration's pursuit for both justice and peace.
You know how you do that? You start cracking down on all this online rhetoric, and you start sending the FBI to people's houses. That's what you do. Advocating for the death of political party members and advocating for the death of people and threatening people is not in your protected speech. It is not. Whether you like it or not, it is not a protected speech. You can tell a cop to fuck off, but the minute you start threatening them, it is a form of assault. Hell, if it's bad enough, it can be classified as a form of terroristic threats.
Judge Janine, welcome back. Loved having you on the show. Thank you so much. Listen, it's so shocking, I think, but here we are.
Vets are awesome, dude. Vets don't get anywhere near as much credit as they deserve in this country. Vets are the reason why this country is the way it is. All vets that fought and died for this country, all living, current vets, all veterans in general, even the ones that are out there fighting against Iran, out there securing each border, out there, I don't know, eating a snickerdoodle in their bunk, every single person getting trained to be in our armed forces. The country is the way it is. The country has been built. The borders are there because they were willing to fight and die for this country. No immigrant did that. There wouldn't be a New York and there wouldn't be a California and there wouldn't be a Minneapolis if there wasn't a veteran that wasn't willing to put their life on the line to secure those borders and those fronts.
Again, it feels like Groundhog's Day. We have another attempt on the president's life. I know you were there on Saturday night. You've since announced that federal charges against Cole Allen will go forward. And as we get more information on this guy, who he was, and all that took place, what is your office focused on right now?
Well, you know, Laura, as I indicated at the time of the presentment, there are presently 3 charges, some of the most serious charges in the federal code, and they are the attempted assassination of a president of the United States, you know, carrying a firearm in interstate commerce with the intent to commit a felony and discharge of a firearm, which has a mandatory minimum of 10 years consecutive to whatever.
You see, that's bullshit. If you a veteran and you fought for this country, brother, you ain't no reason why you should be homeless. Why we busting in all these fucking illegals and giving them housing, giving them transportation and health care, when we got veterans that fought and died or fought for this fucking country, lost limb and life, watched their friends die, and we sitting here giving these motherfucking illegals and these immigrants all this free stuff. We should completely shut down the VA and put those bastards in jail is what we need to do with them. And make sure that our veterans get fat checks. If you serve the country and you retire out of the country, your kids shouldn't have to out of the army or the military in general. Your kids shouldn't have to worry about going to college. That shit should be paid for in every single state. They should be able to get they should automatically be able to get a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house for free. That should be given to you. You shouldn't have to worry about health care. You shouldn't have to file for fucking disability to get a fat paycheck. You should just be handed one. You should be given free health care. You should be given free transportation, whether that be a vehicle given to you brand spanking new with all of your fucking costs of maintenance kept up, if you can do it for these illegals that come here, you can do it for our American soldiers. There is no excuse. No excuse. They fought for this country. They watched their friends die. Some of them even lost their lives. Their kids shouldn't have to fucking suffer for anything. Period. Period.
And of course, attempted assassination of a president is life in prison. But there will be many more charges added to this case, and that's what we're working on right now to answer your question directly.
You shouldn't need to beg for a damn thing. You should have it handed to you. It should be handed to you on a silver fucking platter with your name on it and your family's name on it. It's disgusting how we treat our vets in this country.
Trying to get a real digital footprint of this individual. And what we have learned so far is that everything that we have garnered up to this point is that he was calculating, he was determined, he was premeditated in his intent to commit violence. He did everything necessary in his mind to kill the president of the United States. And make no mistake, in spite of his, manifesto, and in spite of the fact that he exempted this agency, the Secret Service and Capitol Police and Cash Patel and a few other people, he said, I will still do what I have to get to the president and the high-ranking officials. So we now are collecting things like, everything from his electronic devices. The FBI was incredible. They immediately went out, and I was at the command center for hours and hours over the weekend, trying to make sure that we connected with his family members, with his sister, his brother, with people that knew him, with students who went to school with him, and to try to get a real picture as to what his intent was.
Exactly. That's the problem. Whenever I heard the senators saying immigrants built this country, dude, I fucking threw a chair across the room. My blood was boiling. My grandfather fought for this country. My grandfather's brother fought for this fucking country and got skin cancer from being in the Navy and them dropping the fucking atomic bombs on Japan. My grandfather fought in the Korean fucking War and got had a seizure that led to a heart attack from the goddamn asbestosis from all that shit they were spreading around in Korea. I had to watch my grandfather die at the age of 6. The only goddamn father figure I had in my life. And you know what acknowledgement he got? Not a goddamn fucking thing. Not a single thing. They didn't even want to classify it for what it was.
And I think that this is an extremely strong case.
The way they treat their veterans, the way they treat their veteran families in this society in America is disgusting. Be a whole different ball game if we had some people that actually cared. Man, I don't think I ever got so damn mad whenever I heard them say that immigrants built this country. I was like, you motherfuckers. Wouldn't be a goddamn New York, wouldn't be a Minneapolis, wouldn't even be California if you didn't have soldiers to secure those lines. Wouldn't be a New York, wouldn't be a California, wouldn't be a Minneapolis. Wouldn't even be a Texas. Wouldn't be shit.
Man,
be a whole lot of people in Europe speaking fucking German right now.
Intention of killing whomever was necessary in order to kill the president of the United States and the cabinet. So we are very confident as
I don't give a shit if Trump cares or not. The thing is that Trump is doing stuff that this country needs. And as far as I'm concerned, Trump is a means to an end. I don't care who's running the country. If they run on the same policies that Trump is running on right now, I'm going to vote for him every fucking time. I don't care if they're blue, black, yellow, green, orange, purple. I don't care. What I care about is how it will affect American lives. I don't care about immigrants. I care about American lives. I care about the people that have been in this country for hundreds of years. Those are the people I care about, Americans. And I'm not talking about this bullshit fucking narrative, African American, Iran American, Asian American, motherfucker. What is at the end of each one of those terms? American. You're a goddamn American. Own that shit. You're not an African American, you're an American. I guarantee you a lot of these African Americans that go around and act like the way they do, a lot of white Americans, a lot of Asian Americans, a lot of those people that go around and act like they've been disenfranchised in this culture, still don't forget one thing that gives them a leg up in this society that no other country in this world has. The American part of that sentence. The American part of that ethnicity group is what makes them an American. Not the illegal, not the immigrant part. The immigrants and the illegal shouldn't be here, period. Get them the fuck out. They're here illegally. And the immigrants that do migrate here, they have it rough. And if you don't want to assimilate with American culture because you're not compatible, you need to go back. You need to go back. Striking women in the streets because they're not wearing their headscarf on correctly is not accepted here, period. And it never will be.
Was shown at the detention hearing on Thursday that he will be held and detained until we get to the point.
Good less about American people just... So, what has Trump done that shows that he doesn't care about Americans? This is my proof to everybody that's new here. This isn't an echo chamber. I'm going to ask this individual that hopefully doesn't just lead with name callings to give me an opposing political view that I can go based off of. So what has Donald J. Trump done that has said that he doesn't care about American lives? Got another cockroach. Cut healthcare, cancel? Cut cancel? What the hell is cancel? What is that? Cut healthcare, cut cancel? What the fuck is cancel? You mean cancer? You know why Trump cut healthcare? It's because there were states that were doing a bunch of fucking illegal fraud. Dude, do you even know how fucking healthcare works in America? Or are you just from a third world country that has no idea what you're talking about? He cut healthcare? How so? I'm asking how so, because this guy's not even speaking in proper fucking English. Oh, fuck's sake. B-A-N. Oh, shit, I'm holding control, that's why. Hold on. Whoops. Shift. B-A-N. Yeah, we're gonna just put you up to a poll. We'll let chat decide where you're staying. Gas prices are going up. Gas prices are going up because there's a terroristic regime that is been systematically oppressing American voice and capturing United States soldiers in Iran for 47 years and trying to make nukes so they can systematically oppress the entire Middle East. Gas prices going up if they got to go to $100 a gallon just to make sure that that oppressive regime is completely thrown under the bus where it belongs, then that's just what it's going to have to take. Because as soon as they get nukes, they're just going to launch them and kill most of the world. So, I mean, like, let's be honest here. And you know, to be quite frank, if Donald Trump is doing this to secure America's future as the dominant power in the world, I don't care. As long as it's in America's best interest, as far as I'm concerned, we've taken in millions of immigrants. We've given countries millions and billions and trillions of dollars. It's time for them to start giving back. That's my opinion on it. I'm tired of giving countries millions of dollars so they can use that money to make missiles to kill Americans. Fuck that. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. That's what I'm tired of. And I'll tell you one thing that Trump did for me. He got rid of the DEI programs that were racist against white men. That's what he did for me. If you must know.
Of a trial, but we are very confident in our evidence. But having said all of that, Laura, I think that the important thing to note here is that there are people in this country who are applauding this individual, and that is a really very disturbing element to all of this, because he went in there like Rambo. He had a 12-gauge pump-action Mossberg shotgun. He still had the cartridge in the chamber. He had a Velcro attached.
How's it going, Cross Forever? By the way, if you're new here, sub to the channel, hit like on the stream. I'm here every single day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. Every day I go live. Where'd that person go? Where'd that person go? Hold on, wait a minute. Where'd that person go? Where'd he go? My bad. It's 390 top. San Antonio. Not. Trump asked. Hold on, wait. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? To focus on privatization, exponentially expensive, unnecessary wars, cutting utilities, efficiency programs like energy, and a new subscriber, brother. Yeah, we here every day, man. Every day. Take a look at that channel membership. You get those exclusive emotes. I do everything myself, by the way. Everything on the channel I've done myself. I've learned from the ground up. I haven't had anybody help me with this channel at all. Everything that you see is a product of me learning from other content creators or doing it myself. Even the emotes that you get that are part of the membership as well. Let's see. Damn, there was a person that told me to go outside. I was about to chew him an ass. Ban system up too. Chat exactly how y'all society works. Let him vote and I'll never be held accountable. Huh? It's a shit talker? Glazes over the dude's entire comment about Trump cutting things and just saying, and it says, eh. Okay, where's it at? I did see it. I was going to go back to it. Healthcare has been cut to focus on privatization, exponentially expensive, unnecessary wars. You do realize that healthcare is mostly insurance companies, right? Trump cutting healthcare. Based on 2025-2026 report, Donald Trump's administration, Republican legislation, One Big Beautiful Bill Act have aimed to cut Medicaid by over $1 trillion, causing an estimated 10 to 12 million people to lose health insurance. The initiative proposes reducing ACA health insurance. I love it. Because, you know, there's nothing like giving health insurance companies billions of dollars so that way you can pay them as well and then not get the health insurance like what you need. I mean, because, you know, this totally helps out your narrative, by the way. Oh, let's just keep paying the health insurance companies a whole bunch of fucking money so that way whenever we get hurt and we're already paying them every month out of our own check, they can just deny us and we can get fucked in the ass. Didn't somebody kill a CEO because of this reason? What was his name? Luigi Mandaloni? Popped the CEO in the back of the head? I don't agree with that. But what he was talking about was very valid. So what you're telling me is that Trump cut healthcare funding because fuck them. He cut the part of Medicare that was going towards health insurance. Good. They shouldn't be getting government funding. You know why? They're fucking scammers. They're parasites on the system. Like, what? Oh, but he cut the healthcare. The healthcare. He cut the healthcare that was funding insurance companies. Insurance is a scam. Hello? Yo, W20 Jules. Good. Not everybody deserves to be on EBT. Duh.
Ammunition carrier to carry more cartridges.
We gotta move a little bit past that. That's a little too scandalous.
Because the rhetoric has gotten out of control. The president himself, Judge, actually said we need to come up with more peaceful ways to disagree. Listen to what he had to say this week.
I asked it all American.
You know what one of the most frustrating things I've ever heard was whenever I worked at the fire department? as a firefighter, I get free health coverage, right? My captain, who, by the way, didn't make enough to own his own house, had to get 2 firefighting jobs with a family of 4. Had to work 2 firefighting jobs. Man is never home. He's still there. Heart goes out to him, bro. W captain. Worked 2 firefighting jobs to afford his way of living. Had to get his insurance cut to his family. Guy that breaks indoors and puts out fires and saves people's lives on a daily. Had to cut his health insurance to his families because those cocksuckers are trying to take all the goddamn money they can from everybody they can, including people that need it. The people that deserve it. The hell with the health insurance companies. Get rid of them. We don't need them. They're parasites.
Recommit with their hearts and resolving our difference peacefully. Everybody in that room, big crowd, record-setting crowd. There was a record-setting group of people, and there was a tremendous amount of love and coming together. I watched, and I was very, very impressed by that.
What do we do to ensure we don't end up back here? Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't know how many close calls one person gets.
I know, it's very frightening. And what we've got is the president who's called...
Honestly, I feel like they should just be thankful that EBT even is allowed to buy, like, sugar cookies and shit like that. Honestly. Because, like, EBT, I'm shocked that you're only allowed to buy, like, vegetables and, like, I don't know, like, basic necessities. Because some people in the comments are right. Like, if you use the EBT system to get so fat you have to file for disability, it's time to cut your funding. You need to get off your fat ass and do something other than using your food stamps to buy more groceries. I'm sorry, it's time for you to go. Like,
calling for peace
no.
And calling for unification. And you know what? We almost had it in that room. And the president mentioned that and referenced that. I mean, here we were with, all of the journalists, all the correspondents, and, CNN and everyone, all of the networks. We were all there in a jovial, fun evening. And I think, Laura, that this is going to cause a lot of people on the left, at least the journalists and the correspondents, to say, hey, I was in the line of fire here. I could have been killed. Right. So it's not just the president anymore where it's kind of a distance. It's kind of what people say to protect themselves from being and feeling vulnerable. They say, well, it happened to someone else. No, it almost happened to you. And this guy has made clear, even though he calls himself a friendly federal assassin, he's willing to kill you to get to him. And the sooner Americans realize that, the sooner people in the media realize it, the sooner the people on the left who have called the president every name in the book, from Hitler to a Nazi to a traitor, what do you expect people to react? How do you expect them to react? When I was a kid, all right, and it was a long time ago,
how many people died in America due to COVID? I mean, I know why. The first American case of COVID was in Wuhan. The first American case of COVID-19 was reported in January 20, and Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar declared a public health emergency on January 31st. Restrictions were placed on flights arriving from China, but the initial U.S. response to the COVID-19 pandemics was otherwise slow in terms of preparing the healthcare systems. And you know why that is? Do you know why America was slow? It's because they had to abide by this thing called the Constitution, and they had to make sure that they weren't violating in mass people's rights. And think about it this way. How many of those people, because I remember seeing a lot of news clips of people catching COVID that were Uber drivers that wouldn't stay their asses at home that ended up dying. So how many of those people just refused to follow the lockdown, got excessively sick, and ended up dying from it because they were too stubborn to follow the fucking rules? A lot. But what does that even have to do with anything? Percentage-wise, ain't idea how dumb you sound. Telling you straight doesn't work. What are you even saying, bro? Always asking how so, you don't know shit. Devaluating the dollar. Most of your fucking comments have been, like, removed. What are we gonna do with this jackass? Because that's what you are. You're just a jackass. You can't even spell, yet you're trying to call me an idiot. Yo, 10 joules. 10 joules for the coin. Like, how the hell do these people, like, where do you guys come from? Seriously, you have to be from, like, a foreign country as a propaganda-pushing bot. Like, are you a clanker, bro? You a clanker? Is that why you can't spell? Oops. This jackass lives in the happiest nation in the world. I do. I live in the happiest nation in the world. You're right. And I love it. I love America. America is the best country in the entire fucking world. I would not give up my American privileges and my American rights for anything in this world. I would fight for them tooth and nail, just like every other hardworking American in this chat. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Because you're over here. If you're an American, bro, you should be ashamed of yourself for trying to push propaganda and terrorism instead of going out and maybe volunteering for your community. Maybe you should go and do things for your community. You can volunteer firefight. I bet they'd love you. You might see something that will change your views if you're actually an American. I mean, I still kind of think you're a clanker because all you do is repeat the same information over and over again, which kind of makes me, you know, see it more and more. I mean, how many times are you going to say the same 3 sentences four different times? That's crazy, man. You should be ashamed of yourself. Seriously, be ashamed of yourself. But don't worry. I roll out of bed every morning knowing that there's going to be somebody like you that I'm going to farm for content and make money off of you. I just want to let you know that I'm becoming very famous just by making fun of you. And you know what the best part is? If it had not been for you, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at. So in a way, I should thank you for being this stupid. Honestly. I should be thanking you, but I don't really like you, and I think you're a robot. So what I'm gonna do is just ban you on a live stream. How about that? Bye-bye now. Have fun.
You know, it was like Russia was the enemy. We had to run under our desk in case Russia...
The lockdown was the problem. The lockdown absolutely was the problem. It wasn't implemented fast enough, and it didn't stick around long enough to have any real impact. And there were too many exceptions that allowed people to go out and about. That's why it didn't work.
Came, right? And everybody hated Russia. Well, the young people today are being told the president is the enemy. He's this, he's a, you know, he was during the Russian hoax, he's this and that. And they just grow up with that. And it should be no surprise that there are so many young people who think that political violence is the way to resolve conflict or the way to social change.
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie. Getting the COVID vaccine was a terrible fucking idea.
Just said,
I felt
this
so
is what I
fucking
want.
bad, bro.
He's the enemy, he needs to be dead. And that's why law and order is so important. That's why I gave up up the job, that people have at Fox right now, because it's time for us to pull back that veil of this hysteria and this leftist, communist, socialist nonsense and say, this is America, you follow the law, and there will be consequences.
Well, I think that at the end of the day, my hope is that your words translate into reality. People start to realize this didn't happen to other people. It could happen to any of us. And we have to bring the temperature down. Just to change gears very quickly, I want to talk about the Federal Reserve and Jerome Powell. Last week, you announced that your office would be...
That's the best part about what I get to do here on the platform is, if you want to argue in bad faith, I'm just going to pull you up and I'm going to poke holes in your argument. Now, if you've got a good argument and you prove me wrong, hey, sure. I've admitted live all the time whenever I'm wrong. I was wrong about the Egyptians building the pyramids. I thought that it was built by a bunch of slaves, and I was wrong. They were hardworking, paid people, and I admitted it. I looked it up on stream, got myself proven wrong, and I was like, oh, shit, I'm wrong, my bad. It happens. I'm not claiming to be the smartest person on the internet. I am transparent as shit, though. I'm not going to die on a hill. I want to spread as much truth as I can. I'm not here to spread like crazy shit. I'm like taking the information that I'm seeing, formulating my own critical thinking. I'm using my own critical thinking skills to formulate an informed opinion on what I'm seeing. That's what I'm doing. And I'm also taking my personal experiences in my life and putting that in there, and that's what's giving me the train of thought that I've got. I mean,
closing the investigation into the multi-billion-dollar building renovation, and that the Inspector General, Michael Horowitz, would be taking over this case. So what happens now? What led to that decision, first of all, and what happens now with this case?
Well, we had been in touch with the Michael Horowitz, the Inspector General at the Federal Reserve, and I spoke with him, and I indicated
the jab made me super sick. I honestly don't think I would have gotten sick if I had not gotten the jab, honestly.
What I wanted was for him to do his investigation, to complete it in short order, and get his conclusion to me. Because we have a federal judge by the name of Boasberg, you may have heard that name before, who has made a decision that I, as the United States Attorney, as a prosecutor in this district, cannot go into my own grand jury and present evidence or subpoenas to get the information that I need to find out. Is there corruption at the bottom of billions of dollars of a cost overrun? Or is there incompetence? What is it? And a federal...
I think it's all of the above. I think it's all of the above. Straight up, all of the above. Okay, we're going to do one more, and then we probably going to roll up out of here for the day. Can't argue with crazy slams dims over recorded long DHS. I kind of want to do a little bit of a long one. This one looks like it's the longest anyway. Let's do this one. If you're new here, sub to the channel, hit like on the stream. I'm here every single day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. If you missed the stream, don't worry about it. The streams are always up. Check out the channel membership. Every little bit helps. Y'all just showing up here, hitting like on the stream, and before y'all dip out or do whatever, that does wonders. Just showing up every day and watching is more than enough. W chitter chatters and W constant viewers.
Department of Homeland Security Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen. Secretary, great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me on, Shannon.
Okay, so funding is back for most of DHS, but not all of it. That is going to be another sweep through Washington that we'll track. But in the meantime, what does it mean, this historic lapse of funding for DHS as far as rebuilding? Are we able to track all the threats that are out there right now?
What are we gonna do about this guy, man? Hey, y'all gotta learn to take y'all's pills before y'all hop in chat, man. Seriously, y'all gotta learn to take y'all's pills. Straight up. I don't have anybody related to me, bro. My family's dead. I think my dad's somewhere in the world. I don't know. My mom is dead. I have no siblings. My grandparents are dead. I'm in Texas for the most part by myself. My mom's brother alienated himself from me by selling my grandfather's house and giving me $500. That's the only family that I have. And they're all in Louisiana. I'm in Texas, Hoss. I don't know what the fuck kind of stuff you smoking over there, but maybe you should stop. It might be it might be affecting your mental capacity. Anti-American, anti-society, anti-life, human is a plague. That is just crazy, man. You are you need to get help, man. You need to get help. You should go and get help. Like, seriously. You need to go get help, man. Just go seek help. See, when chat bans you here, which is done, just go get help. Go get help, man. Seriously. You might be happier if you just go get help.
Well, after 76 days of shutdown, which is an historic shutdown, longest government shutdown in history, it's going to take some time to recover. I mean, were we able to still be mission capable? Yes. Were we able to pick up everything that was being brought to us? No. I mean, just for an example, we had 500 electric bills throughout just the Coast Guard that was in default, and in some cases, we were having to have the State Department and DOW pay the bills. Our gas cards throughout the department, throughout 22 components, was getting turned off, and we was having to have different agencies pay those bills for us. And so we were also having a tremendous amount of morale issue. So we had a large turnover. Just in CISA, we're down 1,100 people. TSA was down 8%. Which typically we have about a 4.6% turnover there. We have agencies that were almost completely furloughed, and so now we're getting back up to speed. I'll use one more example too. In the Coast Guard, they have one agency that does nothing but license barges and vessels for United States waters. They're 18,000 vessels behind, and even if we did nothing but just work on the vessels behind, it would take us till the end of July to get them licensed and back on the water. That's going to have a huge impact on what happens throughout transportation, what happens with recreational vehicles, and this is all because the Democrats wanted to have open borders and allow criminals to flow freely on the streets, and it makes absolutely no sense, Shannon. But morale is high, and we're laser focused on delivering for the American people, protecting the homeland.
And I want to get to some of the things they'd like to see changes and the reforms that you're going to fight over. But in the meantime, somebody you used to serve in the House with, Congressman Benny Thompson, he's the ranking member on House Homeland Security. When he was asked this week if they are gunning for another shutdown come fall, he used the word absolutely. So how do you hire and retain people with that looming over their heads potentially?
Well, we can't argue with crazy, and for anybody that's a ranking member of Homeland,
I didn't even see that in the other chat. My bad, T. Shipley. Sorry about that.
Understands the threats, that I have been able to brief, been able to get to the skiff, talk to people that want to listen about the real threats facing the homeland. For him to say that as ranking member is reckless, and he's not actually doing his job. He's having more political theater because he's pandering to his base. Because Representative Thompson, he knows good and well the true threats that we deal with every single day in the Department of Homeland. And I at sometimes, or Shannon, sometimes you just have to go around individuals like that because you can't argue with crazy, but we're still going to do our mission. And thank goodness we have people that believe in our mission. They're willing and wanting to come to work because protecting the homeland, that is literally the greatest mission inside this.
The defunding of the Department of Homeland Security is a huge fucking mistake. Letting any person come to this country and move up in our politics that wants to defund the Department of Homeland Security shows how big of a fucking mistake we did. How bad the mistake is that we did by letting that happen. It should not even be possible for a first-generation immigrant to move here and become a policymaker. That should not even be considered. The fact that that is even allowed blows my mind. And the fact that they're doing investigations on that same person that has links to mass fraud from American dollars and also link them to a terrorist organization where that money is being sent to in a foreign country is staggeringly scary. That is so scary, it's not even funny. And now the same person's advocating for the funding or the removal of the Department of Homeland Security is a terrifying premise. That is completely...
we get to do is protect my yard, and, by the way, even his yard.
Well, and part of the conversation and part of the going around is going to be this reconciliation bill that is aimed at fully funding ICE and CBP, which has been left out so far of the fuller package of funding. But here's how one of your colleagues, former colleagues again, this is Congressman Jamie Raskin. Here's how he explains that ICE is operating and why they want reforms. Here's what he said.
ICE now routinely tramples the constitutional rights of the people. It thumbs its nose at federal court orders, and it brings fear and terror to communities across the country, with American citizens being shot down in cold blood at point-blank range in Minnesota.
So he says, listen, the GOP wants money for ICE, no strings attached, no reforms. What reforms? Because we know that there was bipartisan conversation about some things that the administration was willing to do to quell and meet some of those concerns.
Well, first of all, that's just reckless rhetoric coming out of him. People, especially the left, wants to throw down all the time. It's unconstitutional. Well, quote the Constitution. Tell me what it is that the ICE is doing that's unconstitutional, because they're enforcing the laws that, by the way, Congress passed. So if they wanted to make change, Jamie was there underneath the Biden administration. They didn't propose one single change to ICE or the CPB. They didn't propose any immigration reform. They just want to throw out this reckless rhetoric that causes the type of hateful activities we see that even led to another assassination attempt on
phone died.
Trump. Just a week ago. And so when you start talking about reforms, I was actually part of those reforms, Shannon. So was President Trump, that we were really leaning towards the Democrats. We offered them 3 things. They said no, they wanted more. We went all the way up to 9 different reforms. And at the end of the day, this came from Schumer's office himself.
You're right. Immigration does need to be reformed. The borders need to be taller and higher. The immigration people need to be swapped out for military personnel. The country needs to be put in lockdown, and we need to get all these illegals out of the country, and we need to get all these criminals and put them in jail. That's what we need to do. You're right. It does need to be reformed, and that's the only way it should be reformed.
Said, we can't
I like that idea.
There because we're still in primary elections. And it'll give us until after the primaries, which would have been after August. So President Trump, in his true leadership, he said, you know what? We're done. We're not going to negotiate with you. We've been negotiating for 5 weeks with you. We're going to split off to reconcile.
No, I'm calling for the mass removal of criminals and violence from a society that is beyond criminals and violence. That's what I'm advocating for. If you're here illegally, you're breaking the law. If you commit violence and you've got a CVS receipt style criminal backdrop, it's time for you to go to jail. What it should be is a 3-strike system where if you commit your first offense, it's 5 years of your life. It's 5% of your life. I'm sorry, not 5 years. When you commit your first criminal offense in America, it should be 5% of your lifespan. Take the average lifespan and take 5% of that, and that's your first strike on society. Your second strike is 10% of your lifespan. So if you serve the first 5% of your life in jail and you commit another strike, it's 10%. So you take whatever remainder is left of that lifespan, and you take away 10% more of that lifespan. And then if they do it again, you put them in jail forever. I'm 31 years old and I've never committed a crime. It's not difficult. You just don't do it. I mean, shit. It's not hard. You just don't do it. Stop catering to criminals. They're getting people killed. I mean, hello?
reconciliation with CPB and ICE, and we're going to fund the other 20 agencies without reforms. And so we're doing what we have to do because President Trump made the play call, knowing good and well what their plan was all along. Because Representative Thompson said it, they're willing to shut us down again. So we're going to take CPB, ICE, take it off the table for 3 years, fund the rest of the agencies so we can stay mission focused, and just forget about the rhetoric and the hateful, ridiculous, really reckless speech that the Democrats continue to spew out of their mouth every single day because they're pandering to their ridiculous left.
Well, there was a chance at reform, and the conversation that was happening, if you get that funding done, we'll see where that conversation goes. Secretary Mellon, thank you for your time. Always good to see you.
Shannon, thanks for having me on.
Oh, see you around, Mosh. Sorry about that. Didn't see that they was leaving. Cannot perfectly align stones that cannot have on paper sliding between them. Push running towards with shovel. Luxus. Did that. 12 people. Not a quantum process, that's just levitating object. David is your young day, especially blah. Okay, well. Those are conspiracy theories. Somebody talking about something weird in here, man. It's a pyramid made out of blocks. It really not that complicated. For those of you that are falling for somebody that's talking about stuff that's off topic, you're falling for a very rage baity tactic, by the way. There are rage baiters that get in people's comments and they talk about different topics that don't involve what the current person is talking about on the stream. It's a way to encourage different topics while the topic at hand is being disregarded. Y'all are falling for it, just so y'all have a heads up. Y'all fell for it. Y'all got jebaited. Y'all allowed a rage baiter to jebait y'all into something that wasn't even what we were talking about, just so y'all are aware. Y'all got jebaited. Yep, y'all got jebaited. Y'all don't even realize y'all got jebaited. No, it's definitely a bot. It's definitely some kind of bot. Y'all got jebaited, just so y'all are aware. Was it David? I don't think it was you, was it, David? No, there's no way. Go on, reduce my... I don't think it was you. No, it's not you. It was somebody else. It was somebody else for sure. Yeah, I don't think it was David. But no, y'all got baited. Y'all got jebaited. I hate to break it to y'all. Y'all totally got jebaited by that person. I don't even think they're still in the chat. It's either that or the second that I said that y'all got jebaited. They dipped out because they knew their gig was up. I was gonna ban them, but I don't know what happened to them. Yeah, they do that. You guys got hardcore debated, by the way. I don't know what his name is. I don't know where he's at. I don't know who started it. I talked about the pyramids for like a second, and they said something about the pyramids not being, wasn't made by man. And then they debated like the entire chat. I kind of got to give him props. I mean, he knew what to do and when to do it and how to bail. I mean, Astro is negatively harassing viewers whom are simply expressing their deep concerns about his brainwashed, misinformed behavior. No, I'm banning people that are calling me names and being disrespectful to me in my chat. Do you have anything to say about that? I haven't pulled up a single person. Now, you haven't been disrespectful because the way you worded this was very respectful, and I commend you for that. But I only usually pull up people that are being disrespectful dickheads. Actually. I'm sure everybody in the chat would agree with that. I do this every single day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. I know what I'm doing. It looks like this is even your first time being here, so you don't even know. I love how you came in and made an a false statement to try and spread misinformation through my chat. That's interesting. Well, don't tell me though that you got pulled up. Like you gonna roach out now? I mean, you were very like. And it's not me who's banning anybody, it's chat, you know, like it's chat's decision. I just put it up for a vote, and then for some odd reason, people just keep disappearing. I don't know why, it's the damnedest thing. It's almost like the democracy kind of works. I mean, it's almost like democracy works. I don't know, dude, it's weird, right? Another one, another poll. I don't know where this poll came from, guys. I don't know what happened. It came out of nowhere. Man, it's so weird how these things just seem to happen out of nowhere. It's almost like the magical pixie that does your clothes. When you leave them out, man, they just disappear and end up in the laundry basket sometimes. It's the craziest thing. I love how you're just a big man that all you can do is run into a store, scream this really weird statement, and then run out. Man, that's a real big guy right there. Real man's man. Let me tell you. There we go. Bro's cooked. All right. We are rolling. That is it for the day. It is well past that time. Yo, W chat. Only channel members can vote. We could turn it into a republic. That's true. Then only channel members would be able to vote. That's true. That's a very true statement right there. I mean, let's be honest here. Man, that pay to win function. Man. I'm not gonna do that to y'all because that's fucked up. That's fucked up. All right. We will be back on tomorrow bright and early. You know it. We're always here every day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. If you're new here, please sub to the channel. Check out that channel membership. W chat. Let me get the music going. I got to get my music going, man. I got to put that music up there. I don't have no music. Where's it at? This one? And let's do statement. That was weird. That delay was crazy, by the way. What? Okay, y'all stay safe out there, stay friendly, enjoy the rest of y'all's weekend. I'm Like I said, I'm here every day. Try to put a smile on someone's face. You might change their whole day, their whole life. You never know. W chat, W donos, W gifted jewels, W channel members, W constant viewers and likes on the streams. Y'all are awesome. Keep doing y'all, and I'm gonna be here every day. All right. Peace. Stay safe out there. God bless America.
I got facts over tracks, isn't that spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness, hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior, inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior, get off of me, this ain't no humble brag, I want you to hear words, you can say them back, I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help, I had to do it all myself.